Hey there, fellow purgatorites. My name is Zeke Freak, and I know very little about my Can we start over? I
Yes,
don't
yes,
like
we
my
can.
writing. Hey there, fellow. That was too quick, wasn't it?
God damn, no, it's fine, it's fine.
No, it was too quick. I know, I
Okay,
know the timing. That's gonna get cut off.
okay, start it again.
Hey there, fellow purgatorites. My name is Zeke Freak, and I know very little about molecular gastronomy. Joining me today are my usual cohorts Kevin, proud new owner of a baby chimp named Scrumpless, for he has no scrumps, and Saradin, who is currently laughing at a funny joke that he refuses to tell us. And together, we're going to discover the surprisingly racist origins of common phrases. Welcome to the Bakagaijinshow.
We actually have discovered the surprisingly racist origin of common phrases very often on this show. It happens more often than you would think.
Well, that's no skin off my back.
That's one of them! That's one of them!
Uh-huh,
It comes from slavery!
Yep.
God.
Many things in life have surprisingly racist origins.
It's astounding how much of our common vernacular these days has just horrid fucking like origins in just racism and bigotry and just generally unpleasant crap.
The title of this podcast could be construed as racist if you think about it.
Oh dear God, what's the title gonna be?
No, the title, the stupid foreigner show, Kevin.
Oh right. To be fair, we could also do that for the title of the episode.
Right. We just gotta conjure. I mean, clearly, title pending. The racism flows in our veins, so we just gotta we gotta channel it into an appropriately racist title.
The racism flows, as is our lot as Americans, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Where at least I know I'm racist.
I don't think that's how the song goes.
It's how it feels in my heart.
In your heart, in your soul.
Mm-hmm. My very racist heart.
In your chest cavity?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But enough about racism for now.
For now. It always
Kevin,
loops back around.
Yeah, eventually. Kevin, this is the 99th episode of this shit.
We're coming up on number 100.
Yeah, and I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing for episode 100? I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far.
I figured. I figured.
At
I didn't think it
some
would take us
point.
this. I figured it wouldn't take us this long, but we've had many lengthy breaks.
We have, and that is entirely on me because of that. Like
Sure. Yeah, 100% Kevin's fault. 120% actually.
My life as a nomad has caused some issues over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even inaccurate.
No.
Yeah, like someone described my lifestyle as nomadic, and I'm like, that's a very good word for it.
You've been mad before.
Remember that? You know mad, bro? That's the joke I was laughing at!
What?
God!
Plot twist!
Oh!
Also, hi, I'm here. Yeah, I remember the time that you were living out at a campsite.
Well,
church.
we were at a campsite for like 3 days, but then we went to a church for like 3 months. But
Yeah, you sound like a regular hobo.
we were
Remember
basically
the time Remember that time at the same time when you were given like a week's worth of leftover pizza?
I remember that, and it was so nice.
Yeah. One of the few times Facebook has ever been good for anything.
One of the few. Someone was just like, hey, these people over here at this particular campsite just moved and they're having a hard time. Can someone come help? And just like this procession of like 15 vehicles comes in, each one of them with like an entire truckload of food. I'm like, God is real.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was a cavalcade of that specific breed of surprisingly generous white person
Exactly.
surprisingly generous religious white person who votes against actually supporting anyone systemically, but likes to make up for how much free shit they give away.
Wow, it's almost like you know what Kentucky is like.
Yeah.
Eh,
Well, the thing
Gotta
is,
take a bad
Kevin,
one.
I'm not sure if you've realized this yet, but you're white, so they felt perfectly comfortable helping you.
This is a very good point. I'm white, and they didn't know I'm gay, so...
Yeah. Yeah. Good job on the not kissing dudes for like an hour. That was very, very skillful of you.
I had to hold back really hard. I was white-knuckling the whole time. Like,
Like, that guy delivering the pizza is kind of cute, though. Well, it wrapped back around to racism in about 3 minutes flat, so
see,
we've
we've hit our
on a
quota.
roll.
We've hit our quota. There we
Yep.
go. Let's go.
Okay, first of all, there's no upper cap on racism, Kevin. We all know this.
True.
Yeah. You know.
There isn't?
No.
You
No,
didn't
no,
know that?
that you can always go further.
Higher or lower, depends on how you look at it.
Yep. And this is to go even further beyond.
Ah! Fucking love the racist Goku meme. It's like, now I'm even more racist.
I'm about to get racist.
Oh yeah, that's it. Crazy. We've been demonetized, by the way. Not that we were ever monetized, but now we've been.
Oh yeah.
Dude, if we were...
Just to let you know. Just to let you know.
If there was any
We do not
episode
take
that...
any profits here. We are a non-profit podcast.
Okay, if there was
Yeah.
any episode that was going to get us demonetized, and we were never monetized, to be clear, it would probably be the last one we did.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God, that was a fucking trip.
I'm
But,
surprised it took us that long to read porn on air.
what is it, like 7-8 years?
Something like that.
It took a while.
That was episode 8.
Yeah, no, we have no chance of ever making money from this. Our titles alone scare advertisers.
Scares the algorithm.
Yeah, we should do like a tier list of all our titles, honestly.
Okay, I already did the Bumblebee tier list. I've got like a list of like 12 other tier lists that you've suggested that I said were a good idea.
I meant like eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually.
I can throw it on the list.
Yeah. I can think of some key ones that would definitely scare away all advertisers. Like the "Hey, aren't you the kid that got anally raped by a bedpost?"
That's one of my favorite titles you've done.
That's one of my favorite stories we've read.
It's so... Oh my god. Just the... Oh my god.
Yeah. It was visceral. I really felt like I was a small child getting anally raped by a bedpost.
Good lord. What the fuck?
That was right
Yeah.
when we started the fucking Reddit dive, too.
That was like the third time we did it, yeah.
Second or third, yeah. So...
Yes. Slap that on the IGN review. Really makes you feel like a child getting anally raped by a bedpost.
And we thought we peaked there. No. The well went deeper. The well went deeper.
Oh, no, yeah.
Anytime you think that things cannot get worse, they can always get worse.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm in a bad place, I think to myself, man, at least I'm not the kid who got anally raped by a bedpost.
Yep. That's always a positive. Just,
Mm-hmm.
compare yourself to the lives of others and you will feel better about your own.
Yeah, I guess that's why we do the Reddit dive, honestly.
Partially. It's also just
Yeah.
funny to laugh at people in their misfortune.
Yeah, especially when it's
Yeah, it really is.
especially when it's self-inflicted, like Mason Jar guy.
Yeah, it's just like, haha, dumbass.
Yep. Or the guy who turned
No, the other Mason Jar guy.
No, I was talking about the first Mason Jar guy.
Okay.
I think. I'm talking about the one who fucked up a relationship with a girl 14 years younger than him
Yeah, that one.
because he didn't like her Mason Jar collection.
It's like, my guy.
Yeah, there's also the dude. This is quickly becoming my favorite genre of fuck up posts. The guy who turned down a threesome. Supposedly involving Mark Cuban for his Segway or something.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Something along those lines. Oh my god.
Yeah.
My dude,
Full
the
on,
Segway
yeah.
is not worth it. Just...
Yeah, the full autism moment. Yeah.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Mark Cuban was gonna be there supposedly.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Who
Allegedly.
the fuck is Mark Cuban?
This podcast is becoming utterly incomprehensible to anyone who hasn't actively listened to it.
Mark Cuban was literally on an episode of Bar Rescue we saw.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Dude! Who's Mark Cuban? This fucking guy!
Did you not watch Shark Tank? You seem like a guy who would have watched Shark Tank.
I definitely have not watched Shark Tank.
Shark Tank is a lot of fun, actually.
I've watched like 2 episodes of it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, doesn't he seem like a guy who would have watched Shark Tank, though?
A little bit. But no, yeah, Mark Cuban, Mark Cuban is fucking based.
Yeah. He gives off the guy who's watched Shark Tank vibes, but I guess my vibe detector is
Yes,
off.
I haven't.
Yep.
Well, damn. Maybe we should fix that.
One of these days. We gotta work our way through all the fucking reality TV, I guess.
You've already fucking you already dropped me in the deep end of some of the shit that happens on TLC. God.
Yeah, I gotta find more TLC shit. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh my god. I still can't get over the guy that fucked his car.
Yep. I like the part where his dad shows up. He's like, "You are in a sexual relationship with this vehicle."
With this vehicle.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's correct, father. It's like,
oh, there's crazier ones I didn't show you, like the woman who's been married to a construction crane for like 17 years or something.
You did mention that offhand. I do remember you mentioning that one.
Oh, or the balloon animal orgy guy.
The what?
The balloon animal orgy guy.
Oh my god.
I know that doesn't even like I'd be too, like. I know it's like a running joke where it's like I gotta be careful, don't want to hurt her. But like when you're with a bunch of balloon animals, I feel like that feeling is magnified. Where it's like, man, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna pop them.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I know. I feel like it's too fragile to be sexually enjoyable.
Again,
I feel
the depths of human depravity go so deep, and every time you go deeper, you realize, man, I sure am glad I'm not that far gone.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I see that. I'm just like, get this man an Ona hole or something.
At least
something
you're
a
not
little bit more, something a little bit more sturdy than a balloon animal.
At least you're not fucking literal balloon animals. Jesus Christ.
I feel like with a little bit of lube, and if you filled it with water, it wouldn't be too bad.
I feel like he might find that sacrilegious, honestly.
That's good.
Also, how do you
just balloon fucker?
Also, how do you make wait? How do you make balloon animals if the balloons are full of water?
Also, good point.
Yeah, how do you? Yeah, that seems. I'm no pro balloon animalist,
carefully.
but I feel like that's just the default answer for any difficult question. Basically cheating.
I mean, what else would you have the answer be?
I don't know. We gotta get like an expert balloon animalologist on the podcast.
One of these days, I guess.
Balloon animalographer.
If I stumble across an expert on balloon animals and specifically balloon animal fucking, I'll let you know.
Well, no,
as if that'll happen.
I mean, the reality of the situation is that we need to get like a panel of 3 experts on the show to answer this question. We need to get a balloon animalographer. We need to get some sort of hydrophysicist for the water physics aspect, and we gotta get like a sexpert.
Oh yeah, the true meeting of the minds, trying to figure out how to fuck a balloon animal the best way.
Specifically ones filled with water, as per his suggestion. Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, we can do both. I mean, if we got them all there, we might as well. You know?
True. Like, just go the full 9 yards at that point.
Yeah. I mean, if we're assembling the balloon animal sex questioning Avenger team, you know, you might as well cover all bases at once. When are we gonna get this hyper specific arrangement of experts together again?
I don't know, man. I feel like one of the other requisites is we're gonna have to get a fucking psychiatrist, a sociologist. We're gonna have to deep dive on, like, you know, what are the cultural impacts of this decision?
Yeah.
What led to this man making this decision? Because those are going to be fascinating questions as well.
Yeah.
Like, well, see, when I was 7, I suffered some trauma when it came to Billy the Clown and his balloon animals, and now I can't stop thinking about. Ta-da! It's not my finger.
I thought. On a related note, I thought recently that I kind of want to go.
You just see a clown. He's just like he's at the backside of the party. The party's over,
Yeah.
and little Billy goes over, and the clown's just smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "Hey, kid, you want to see a magic trick?" Sure. All right. It's not my finger. And now, ever since, I was looking at the balloon animals when it happened, and now all I can think about is balloon animals.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This got
Probably
dark.
smart.
This got real dark.
Yeah,
Anyway.
on a related note, on a related yet completely unrelated note to that, I've had the weirdest feeling like I want to go to the circus lately.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I mean,
I just
you have
thought,
Twitter.
man, we
We
finally
have
go to the circus. We have what?
We have Twitter.
No, you don't understand. They don't follow clown code.
Yeah, yeah, but none of these people have gone to
What
the
the
surprisingly
fuck is clown
different.
code?
Have you never heard of Clown College? It's surprisingly brutal.
It's a real thing. There is actually a clown code.
There's a clown code. I watched a documentary about
Yep.
Clown College once. It is surprisingly cutthroat, Clown College.
Yep.
You know, it's like the fucking Hunter exam.
Man, when's the next fucking weekly Shonen Jump manga on fucking Clown College?
That's a great idea.
You know what? Someone should do that. Someone should do that.
Someone
Actually,
get Matt on this shit. I want to know about it.
That's a great idea. There should be a shonen manga about becoming the greatest clown.
yes. Look, if we can have like fucking manga, if we can have fucking shit about like manga about making manga and shit like
or
that,
whatever the
then-
fuck a Kane Banashi is, that like it's about Rakuto or whatever, the like Japanese improv theater with the, that thing with is it Rakuto, that thing where they kneel on stage and like act out all the
I think
parts
it's
at once.
Rakuten. I think it's Rakuten.
Rakuten, yeah, like Akane Banashi is apparently like a big hit for Jump right now. So like if we can make that appealing somehow, then like Clown School, that's a shoo-in.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can make any concept work if you just fucking screw with it like long enough. Like, jeez.
And clowns are masters of screwing with things.
Exactly. It fits. It fits.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we've really stumbled onto something.
We've stumbled onto a gold mine of a concept. God.
Yeah, if only any of us could draw.
Fuck.
I mean, I kind of can, but I'm not doing that shit.
No, yeah.
No. I get that.
No.
I get that.
No, we need someone who's passionate about the material.
Yes. Someone who
Alright,
someone who hears,
Passionate like a clown.
someone who hears competitive Clown College manga and is like, "Fuck yeah, I want to draw that."
I'm gonna dedicate the next decade of my life to this story.
The epic saga of Clown College. Fucking brilliant concept. Brilliant concept.
Honk honk. I'll be here all week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when the fucking anime adaptation comes out, it can be like a fucking heavy metal rendition of the fucking circus theme.
That's public domain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It
can
is
work
now.
with it.
Yeah, I assume so. It's used everywhere.
Yeah, that's public domain.
Unless everyone is paying royalties to clown you.
Christ.
What the fuck has everyone been up to? Because
That was
these topics are getting weirder, and I'm afraid of where this rabbit hole is going to eventually.
I was just gonna say that was an excellent round of pleasantries.
It was. Yep.
The pleasantries were especially pleasant. Kevin, what have you been up to?
All right. Well, I've read a bit more of Kinika Man, as I have been doing. I've gotten
Yeah, manga not about clowns. Count me out.
I'm fairly sure there are a couple of clown-themed Chojin in this, but I haven't gotten to them yet.
It doesn't scratch the Kevin on the tier list. Manga about clowns objectively superior to manga not about clowns.
You make a very fantastic point here.
Thank you.
I'm again
you.
one of those things where I'm finding it hard to argue with you.
Yeah. You could pop a balloon animal at this point. It's so sharp. And you'd be like, no, my lover!
You know what? We could actually have that be a character in the manga, just somebody who's just madly in love with his balloon animals.
That could be right. It'd be like, yeah, it's like fucking, it's like Clown Minato, but specifically for balloon animals.
There we go. There we go.
I mean, yeah, you know, that's the best part about balloon animals. They can always get bigger.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, I've been reading more Kanika Man. I'm up to the, I think it's the 4th major arc of the series. It's the 2nd major tournament arc.
Sure.
And this is apparently where the manga gets like, it's been getting progressively better and better. But like the improvement has been like kind of on and off. But like apparently this is the arc where everything like really takes a massive upswing in quality. So I'm looking forward to reading the rest of it. It's a significantly longer arc than the first tournament arc. The first tournament arc was like 18 chapters. This one is like double that. So much more time to actually develop characters and have like actually decently staged fights. So I'm looking forward to reading more of that probably later today. I finally, after you bitched at me for 6 to 8 months, God, why did I take so long? I finally did the Bumblebee tier list video. I tried to keep it...
Yeah, sure.
Yep,
Sure.
I tried to keep it a little bit more focused. So I was like, okay, we're doing Bumblebees that are... that have been in, like, major media, like major movies, television, and stuff like that. So I ended up having about 15 Bumblebees that I had to rank. So, you know, pretty good list there. Just a bit of a preview. Watched the final batch of Stone Ocean episodes, which guess we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the
You guys
second,
will.
the second
I'll sit here and
slash
pretend I
third.
know what the hell you're talking about because I haven't watched JoJo's yet.
Yeah.
No, we'll do that. No, we'll do the thing where we record the second segment and third.
Yeah, because you know we're fucking JoJo fans, and you haven't seen past like what.
And you're going to go on about it for a while, so that's fine. So
Yeah.
that segment will be brought to you by those two.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Spoiler alert! I fucking love this last batch of Stone Ocean episodes.
Why
It was
would you
really good.
spoil that? Jesus Christ,
God.
Kevin.
But it was good. It was good. Anyway, I have still been going through my. Oh, right. Our mutual friend Josh gifted me Destroy All Humans, the remake. I've been playing a little bit of that. God, that's a fun game. I miss when I miss when games could actually have you know, comedy with a little bit of a bite to it. Like I'm surprised at how much just blatant innuendo is in this game.
Oh yeah, the sequel more so.
Yeah, I remember when this game was like advertised in fucking Nickelodeon magazine and shit like that. So I can imagine like fucking parents picking this game up for like their fucking 6-year-old kid, and
Back
then
when
being
comedy was legal.
and then being very, very stunned at how like how fucking raunchy some of the humor is in a teen-rated game.
Yeah, kids listening to this show for some reason. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a piece of advice from Uncle Zeke here. Okay, don't play Destroy All Humans with your parents in the room.
Yeah, no, wait until they're asleep, then play it. Crank that shit. Destroy, but yeah, no, Destroy All Humans.
Or have a TV in your room like a cool kid.
Yeah, Destroy All Humans is fun. I'm having a good time with that. I've played a good couple hours of it.
Sure.
Let me see here.
Let's go through the files. Gotta open the filing cabinet, pull out the files.
Rifle through that.
Who the fuck uses a filing cabinet? We have computers.
People with files.
We have technology.
Apparently fucking filing cabinets.
The filing cabinet does not require power. There's certain advantages in that.
True. But it also
It's like for long. long-term archival storage.
But it can also take up more space, so,
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Both are equally susceptible to fire.
True. But we watched Black Fox on the Baka Gaijin movie night.
Yes.
This Monday, by the way, GoldenEye. So if you want to watch GoldenEye with us, join the server.
You do want to watch GoldenEye because it's a fantastic fucking movie. Not just a good James Bond movie.
I love GoldenEye. It's so good.
Yeah. No, fantastic fucking movie. So you will be watching that with us. Everybody better show up. Everybody better show up.
Everyone
We're
is
watching a good movie. We are not watching Freebirds. We are watching a good movie.
Freebirds was okay for what it was. Freebirds wasn't bad.
I had fun.
I had fun. I've been gone for 5 years. Have you heard of the turducken? Just horrified.
Remember the end of District 9 where he said 3 years and then a sequel never came out?
Ouch. Fucking
Yeah,
ouch.
I still think about that.
Yep.
I still think about that.
Maybe one day.
Yep.
Maybe one day.
Yep.
But, yeah, no, Black Fox, surprisingly a lot of fun. Pretty good movie. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I just like movies that have, like, fucking batshit insane, like, kind of edgy premises and just kind of, like, go all in on it. So, you know, this
Sure.
Black Fox is just that, so it appealed to me.
Yeah. It's a movie about a guy who really, really hates his coworker.
When you really boil it down to the basics, yeah.
I was gonna say.
Also other things, but mostly
It's actually a direct sequel to Office Space.
It's actually a direct sequel to Last Thursday, Brent. I know it was you.
Yeah, no. No, you hate your coworker, you want to show him up, so you experiment on your daughter.
Kill his
family.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole thing.
Create fucking Metal Gear wolves to try and to take down his last remaining descendant. It's a whole thing.
Yourself with superpowers, like, yeah. I mean, trust me, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole process.
It's up there in petty villain motivations with the guy who was jealous his professor like the other guy's fucking virtual reality simulation more than his baseball video game.
This does not benefit him in any way.
How dare you think this revolutionary virtual reality technology is more impressive than my baseball simulator?
See, the thing is, at the very, like, that is one thing you can say about Black Fox. The motivations and the actual plot, what he does.
That's a great back of the box quote. More sensible motivation writing than Scooby-Doo in the Cyber Chase.
Yep.
Way to go, Kevin. Kevin, that's
That was
really
a fucking movie that you just reminded me of, and now I hate you for it.
Kevin, that's a real fucking better than We Party Babies scale. I just need you to know that.
God.
I am completely aware of this. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when I thought that Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase was actually a good movie, and then I got taste.
Yeah, we all did when we were 7.
Yeah, because it's like, ooh, it's Scooby-Doo, but it's in a computer.
Because it's a film that has a lot of cool ideas and keeps throwing them at the screen, and when you're 7 years old, you don't really think about how things are executed.
Yeah.
So all you see is that there's a bunch of cool shit happening on screen, you're like, ooh! And then you grow up and you're like, oh, this isn't really constructed very well.
I love how the smoking gun was just like, the virus said play ball!
We got him now! Whoever programmed this virus likes baseball.
Oh,
that narrows it down.
Thanks, Velma. Like, fucking A+ detective work.
Cinched it. Ace detective.
Christ. One of these days we're gonna
give that girl a medal.
One of these days we're gonna put a fucking Scooby-Doo movie on.
I think there's some on the list.
There are.
Not that one, but some of them.
God, not that one, no. No, yeah, we've got a good like 2 or 3 Scooby-Doo movies that are actually on the list, and they're the good ones. Have we put Frank and
Which
Creepy?
no. Hold on. Define the good ones.
Okay, so there are the obvious good ones, which are like the initial direct-to-video movies, you know, Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders. But then there are actually But then there are actually some good ones afterwards that are just like so batshit insane, but they have so much fun with the concept that you can't help but love it. One of them is Jello Apocalypse made a very good rule of thumb. The dumber the title, try that again. The dumber the title, the better the
movie. Let's move on. Kevin is having a stroke.
Nope. Stroke is done. I'm good. Anyway.
No. You're a mid-stroke. Go to the hospital. I will take over.
No. I'm good. We're good. But yeah, no. The dumber the title, the better the movie. Example, Scooby-Doo Franken Creepy. Fucking terrible title. I saw that movie, I loved it. It's like if fucking Edgar Wright directed a freaking Scooby-Doo movie. It's great. Moon Monster Madness is really good too. I really like that one. And I fucking love Scooby-Doo and Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery. I'm absolutely putting that on the list, like, next chance I get. Like, that's going on the wheel.
I think...
If it's not already.
It's not on the wheel. I think it's on the list, though.
Yeah, if it's not on the wheel already, it will be soon. But no, yeah.
Sure.
Other things that I've been up to. Honestly, I've just been very... just not been doing... Oh, yeah, right. I also watched Robot Jocks, which is this like late 80s low budget mecha live action movie made in America that is basically G Gundam before G Gundam.
Everything you said gave me physical pain. Like physical pain. So you're telling me it's G Gundam, but it was made in the late 80s. Telling me, was it CGI?
No, stop motion.
Yeah, doctor. Double cancer. Yeah, I'm
Double
sorry. I have
cancer.
double cancer now.
It's a fun movie, actually.
Jesus Christ.
I can't call it quote unquote good, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
No, I can't. Yeah, I know. It's just I'm not gonna be negative. Let me just bitch about the slime anime more, okay?
Oh, there
God
it is.
damn it.
Slime counter. Slime counter.
Finally, we can use the slime counter.
There it is.
I'm not gonna bitch about random Scrimbo that you watch, but I'll bitch about the slime anime all day long. Fucking bottom of the barrel, like uninspired garbage. Anyway,
dude, at the very least, fucking Robot Jocks was revolutionary for its day. But no, yeah, I haven't been doing a whole lot this week, so I'll just pass the baton to Sarah over there. What have you been doing?
Oh man, so what have I been doing? I told you guys about Yomicon last week or last podcast. So other than that, I have not been doing anything except like working a ton.
Yep.
And then 2 back-to-back 60-hour weeks. So I haven't had a lot of time for pretty much anything. I'm gonna pick up that new Call of Duty though.
Oh.
I am gonna pick up that new Call of Duty though because it looks very fun, and I actually enjoyed Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah, Modern Warfare,
or the remake of Modern Warfare, I should say.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 1 too.
Yeah, well, if I say Modern Warfare 1, I would actually be saying Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
But like, no, I mean, so Modern Warfare 1 is actually
Modern Warfare 2 is where it gets tricky because we already called it Modern Warfare 2.
For 2, yeah. So this is the Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 2.
Man, we got Modern Warfare guys in tutus. We got Call of Duty Blackhawks. Like, man, we got like every.
This is like the third Modern Warfare 2.
No, it's only their second.
No, we had the fucking remaster.
That doesn't count.
God, you're one of those guys. They've released Skyrim 12 times.
Okay. Look, if fucking The Last of Us, you can have 3 different fucking versions.
That's because The Last of Us is The Last of Us. And that's all I'm going to say on that because otherwise we'll be here for an hour.
Yeah, we already have one counter.
Overhyped garbage. Anyway,
No. We're not doing a counter for The Last of Us. If there's any fucking overhyped, fucking AstroTurf to shit, PlayStation exclusive that we're gonna be, bitching about, it's gonna be fucking Horizon.
I'll do
fun
that.
gameplay, atrocious characters.
Yep.
I'll do that, but I don't want to counter for it.
Yeah.
It's not as funny. It's not as funny as slime.
Yeah, the slime counter is
Okay.
much funnier.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
fine.
I
So you
can't
get a
believe we're already
slime
up.
counter, King.
I can't believe we're already up to 8.
Oh
We're
my
editing
God.
all those in. Every time we say slime, you have to add it in.
Yep.
Oh my God. Anyway. Oh God, I can't wait for the Nickelodeon podcast.
No, that's cheating. That's cheating.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cheating. We said the word slime. That was the stipulation. Anyway. Also another ding.
Stop giving me work.
I mean, I will literally sit here and sing a song.
We've
about
only got a slime counter up to 20 right now. Fuck.
I will sing a song.
Great. Now that's gonna make me work.
Exactly. We're only doing it on an episode by episode basis, okay?
Oh, that's lazy and uninspired.
That is incredibly lazy.
Kevin would be terrible at CinemaSins.
Kevin, the whole point of the counter is to get to outrageous extremes.
Okay, all right. Worth
Right.
noting.
If we learned
Worth
anything
noting.
from Civi, it's that sewers never die. They just move to different games.
Yeah, we're talking about a Civi style counter here.
Okay.
Right.
Moving on.
A few seconds later.
From what? Slime?
Stop it! You're giving
LMAO!
yourself more work too.
Oh my God! This is a good time we're having here.
I
just
like
been working a lot.
how we notched up like 15 on the slime counter without even actually criticizing slime whatsoever.
Yeah.
Damn! Imagine when we finally get to that.
We're following more so the words of the counter rather than the spirit.
So yeah, I've just been working a lot.
Yeah,
essentially, and haven't really had a lot of time for stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to reaccumulate funds. I might be going to Japan in March. So we'll see how that works out. It all depends on whether or not I can get concert tickets to and convention tickets to Hololive 4th Expo. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, because
if I can. So apparently the tickets right now are all locked behind. Basically, you have to have a Japanese phone number and a Japanese credit card to even apply for the tickets.
yeah, because it all goes to like the Lawson app.
Yep, it all goes through the Lawson app. So you need a
Lovely.
Japanese phone and a Japanese phone number and a Japanese fucking credit card to do all that stuff. So that being said, apparently one of the cover managers into getting some tickets available for overseas fans. If those become available, I have a couple of friends who will be letting me know as soon as that happens. If it happens, and if it does, then I'll try to pick up tickets and then I'll try to go. I might go anyway, even if I can't get tickets to the concert or the expo, just to hang out with people in Japan.
Oh yeah. Because like even if
I just want to go, man. I was trying to go for the Olympics like years ago, and then it like didn't work out.
yeah, you literally have a
because of
free
COVID.
plane ticket to Japan waiting.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
What, did you get a coupon?
No, so they canceled so everybody had to cancel their flights when COVID was announced because of the
Sure.
because of all the borders.
when COVID dropped.
Right. When COVID dropped its sick mixtape on our asses.
Emphasis
no.
on the sick.
Yeah, emphasis on the sick. It was absolutely killer.
One might even call it breathtaking.
Yeah, it slayed a bunch of people, man.
You're breathtaking.
Anyway, oh, that's so nice. Don't ever say that again about me.
Okay.
No, but like when COVID happened, everybody was canceling their flights, and American Airlines decided they would do this thing that they've never done before, which instead of saying sorry, nothing we could do about it, because normally they don't have a refund policy, they decided to give everybody store credit in the amount equivalent to their tickets. So I have like $1,300 of store credit with American Airlines, just waiting for me to pick up a ticket.
Yep.
Airline IOU.
Literally, they owe you a basically 1,300 ticket. So
Crazy.
So, might be going to Japan in March. We'll see how that pans out. The latest I will know is the end of January, so stay tuned for more information on that. If you want to come meet me in Japan, great. I'm not paying for you.
No,
So,
Yeah, makes sense.
I will also be at a HoloLive Expo being a total fucking simp for a weekend. So, if you don't want to see me like that, then don't come.
I don't know why you would go to HoloLive Expo and not want to see that.
Exactly.
That sounds like the place to go for that.
That's
I know.
why I'm here.
I know.
Yeah, man.
I know. Just like, don't go though if you don't want to see that. So like, don't just show up.
Sounds
Like,
yeah.
"Let's hang out with Mike." And I'm like,
Yeah,
Mike's gonna be over here. Mike is gonna be over here being a total fucking nerd for a few.
You are the least important. Yeah, it's like going to a fucking auto show and be like, man, everyone here is really into cars.
Right.
What's the deal?
What's the deal with cars?
Hey, it's that guy that had sex with the car.
He's here too. God, this must be like a fucking strip
Reminds me of the
him.
fucking.
God. I would get his
video
autograph.
of somebody putting a fleshlight in a tailpipe, and the farts it makes. The music it makes.
I remember that video. God,
it's very funny. It's very funny.
I would get
quality YouTube content. Go look that up.
I would get the car sex guy. I would get the car sex guy's autograph, but I wouldn't. I don't care about his name. I just want him to sign it as the guy who had sex with his car.
Yep.
I want him to win an award at Cars and Coffee.
Most sex head with cars.
Right, exactly. just like pin that on the front of his fucking jalopy or whatever. Be like, sex head with cars. Here's your award. Mm-hmm. He's like, gee, thanks. I knew I'd grow to win something someday.
It's the one time in the back where you see a baby on board sticker, but it means it literally.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, are you that offended by mixed race babies?
Does it come? No. Does it come out of the trunk or the back seat, or the engine?
I'm not a car pregnancyologist. I don't know.
There's literally a joke about that in an early episode of Fairly Odd Parents. It's like, so let me look at this straight. You married your car. Yep, and my kids get 78 miles to the gallon.
That's really good mileage. That sounds like impossibly good mileage.
I think it's actually like something way lower, but like that's just a random number that popped into my head. Anyway.
No, I understand.
Bizarre, strange,
how unusual.
But yeah, no. So if you want to go to Japan, just go and have a good time, and I will be over here. And if you're out over here, great. If not, then don't try to drag me places. I've had people try to do that with me before on trips.
No. Honestly, no.
So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that ends up working out. And then next year, also plans for Colossal Con in Sandusky, Ohio.
We going?
It's hot as fuck. Beautiful women though, and it's at a water park resort. So that's where I met Steve Bloom a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna be planning for Colossal Con, definitely.
Oh, okay, if you guys are planning, I'll plan.
Yep.
We can all plan together. Think tank it. I think the early discount ends at the end of January. I think.
Okay.
Yes, it does. So make sure you get your tickets for that. And then also at the end of next year, or actually it's in late July. I'll be trying to go to Germany again. So that'll be
fun.
But outside of those things, I got nothing else going on. Christmas is around the corner. I'm broke as shit.
Yeah.
I'm working 60 hours a week to try to make back some money for the holiday season, and so I'm not dead broke by the time the year starts. Yeah. Also, Putin pooped himself is trending on.
Oh yeah, he fell down the stairs and shit himself. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Especially the way the press release worded it. He had a quote involuntary reaction. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he involuntarily reacted all over his pants.
I love that there are some people who are like, "You're being so insensitive. He has cancer." I'm like, he's also Vladimir Putin, so.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you know.
He's also arguably one of the most evil men alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
Yeah,
him and
yeah.
Jinping are having a
We're
contest.
operating on multiple levels of hilarity here. First of all, world leader shitting himself.
yep.
Funny on its face. When it's a world leader we really don't like, even funnier.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm calling him Vladimir Poopin from now on because that is accurate.
That's fucking hilarious.
That's great. That's
hilarious.
I really hope, assuming we're not all dead soon, I really hope that in the history books there is at least a few sentences dedicated to the time he fell down the stairs and shit his pants.
That's got to be in the biography, man.
Oh
That's
yeah.
gotta be in the biography.
It's gotta be. It's
oh,
gotta be.
yeah. Yeah, I hope we don't even remember him for the invasion and
I wanna
shit. We
tear
just
that
remember him
page
as the
out
guy who
and
fell
frame
down the stairs and
I
shit
want
his
to tear
pants.
that page out. I want to tear that page out and frame it and put it on my wall.
Yeah. Imagine proclaiming you're going to rebuild the fatherland and you just get known in the history books as the guy who fell down the stairs and shit his pants. I might start believing in karma after that.
And
Oh
people
my
say God's not real.
But that's all I got. So move on.
If he's real, he's a funny fucker.
Oh,
That's
he's
all
got
I
a great
so
sense of
let's
humor.
move on. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Just talk over me.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
you were done. You were done.
Also, Trump was right about everything is trending in the United States, and I'm like,
That trends every other week.
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, so I got nothing else for you. Move
Yep.
on to somebody else.
Yeah, I'll
I will be right back. You take it away, Zeke.
Okay, yeah. All right. While he's gone, I just want to say that I like having him on because it's really funny. We're like, what have you done this week? And he starts talking about shit he plans to do next August. I just find that really amusing. Anyway.
I mean, I talk about shit I plan to do all the time, so.
No, yeah. But when we talk about shit we're planning to do, it's like stuff we're planning to do next week
Yeah,
or at
yeah.
the most maybe next month.
Yeah.
He's talking about next August.
I mean, plans change. Plans change. He's planning for the future.
I know. It's just we're a weekly podcast.
I can respect it. I can respect it.
I know if he's gonna talk about what he's doing next August, he's gonna be talking about what he's gonna be doing next August until next August on our weekly podcast.
You don't know how things change week to week. Next August could be like the August after next.
Status update next August still on lock.
Okay.
Anyway,
See a little bleeding. Is that
doing?
internal?
what I've been doing. This song is unproductive. Hold on.
Okay.
I just had to switch.
Gotta get the right vibes.
Well, no, there's too much like background chatter.
Ah, lovely.
People were doing weird alien voices, and I'm like, I'm trying to talk here.
I mean, I could do weird alien voices, but that wouldn't be fun.
Well, I literally just turned off the weird alien voices, so I don't need more of them.
Exactly, which is why I said it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, I don't know what part of that made you think I wanted more of them when I literally turned them off.
I was saying that because I know you didn't want more of them.
Kevin, when a guy has like a speaker in public and he turns off the music, do you start immediately blaring more music at him?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Didn't fucking think so.
Okay, all right.
He's gonna get back and he's gonna really surprised how I've mentioned nothing I've been doing.
Shockingly.
Yeah, let's see if we can keep the tangent going. Want to talk about clowns again?
Oh, talk about the fucking clown manga concept that we came up with. Jesus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good concept.
It is a really good concept.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also talk about other current events, like Kanye going completely off the fucking deep end.
Somebody sent a question about that, so...
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Kanye is currently off the table until later.
Yep.
Kanye is postponed.
Okay. Yep.
Speaking of Vladimir Poopin.
Yeah. Anyway, now I can finally start talking about what I've been doing. We're off that tangent we were on. Anyway, I beat Evil West. That was good. It was fun.
Excellent.
I liked it. G-Man Lives is wrong, as usual.
Oh, really? Oh, what's he on about?
Well, he didn't like it.
Ah.
So yeah, anyway, but I liked it, and as usual on this show, my opinion is the one that matters.
Yep, that is a consistent
yeah,
thing.
not the G-Man Lives podcast. Sorry, if you came here for that, you took a wrong turn somewhere. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed Evil West. I had a lot of fun with it. So now I'm just kind of on game break, waiting for a few days from now. Overwatch 2 Season 2 starts.
Okay.
That's gonna be fun. The pre-download is actually already up. I just haven't pre-downloaded it yet because I have 3 days to pre-download it, so I wasn't in a hurry to pre-download it.
Right.
The only thing I'm looking forward to from the Game Awards is potentially a trailer from Software for the new Armored Core game.
Yeah.
It could happen. Also, yes, the Game Awards are very soon.
They are, and we are soon to lock in our predictions for announcements.
Yes. Yeah, stay tuned for bet updates.
Oh yes.
Including what the punishments will be.
Oh yes.
It always morphs into the fucking symbiote theme with me.
To be fair, banger soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Love it. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting for Overwatch 2 Season 2 on the 6th. I'm gonna play the Booster Course Wave 3 on the 7th, or maybe the 8th, depends on how long the Pirates take. Game Awards on the 8th.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff coming up, damn. And then on the 13th is High on Life, which I'm probably gonna get.
Nice. Yeah.
Because man, do I want Justin Roiland improving in my ear for 20 hours.
Yeah. Next week is gonna be eventful. A lot of events.
Well, that one's like 10 days away.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, yeah, stuff in December is happening.
Oh yes.
It's happening, Kevin. It's happening like the happening right now.
It's happening.
I just want a hot dog.
I just want a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, I've been Stoshin, but we'll talk about Stoshin later.
Yep.
Other than that, just watching the normal anime. I mean, I got some writing done. I fucked up my sleep schedule again. We're recording a lot earlier a bit earlier than we usually do.
A fair bit earlier.
Yeah, because I dozed off last night and I woke up early and I fucked up my sleep schedule. So I'm trying to take a nap after this.
Yeah,
but I did use the opportunity
to.
I did use the opportunity to get some writing done. So that's good as well.
Yep.
I'm hoping to get the next thing out by at least the 10th. But we'll see. I'm setting deadlines for myself. Motivation. Keep going. Keep writing.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm on. Hold on. Okay, the door's just wobbling normally. That's normal. Sorry, that's normal wobble. I thought it was intentional wobbling. It's normal wobbling.
Is it side fumbling?
It's kind of shaking. It's kind of shaking and stirring.
Okay, so it's not side fumbling?
No.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you wanted to get a retro encabulator for that because apparently it helps prevent side fumbling.
Is this a football joke? I don't understand.
Oh, you've never heard of the retro encabulator?
No.
Oh man, that is the greatest scientific shitpost ever made.
Oh god, why?
Oh, you haven't? Okay, all right. Look, all right. I'll give you the pretext to it. It's a lot funnier if you don't know the pretext, but I'll give you the pretext to it. It was you know how the advertisements made for companies are extremely filled to the brim with a bunch of technical jargon
Yes.
that the average person does not understand. Well, a bunch of people at IBM came up with, I think it was IBM. It was either IBM or GE, one of the two. Came up with a fake advertisement called the Turbo Encabulator, and they made it again in the 70s, and it was called the Retro Encabulator. And it's a nonsense machine that you never actually understand what it does. They just fill the advertisement with a bunch of bullshit technical jargon that means nothing. And it's become a giant meme in the industrial community and in the scientific community. It's hilarious to listen to. I will share the video with you at some point, guys, in private. It's like 3 minutes long and it's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
And it's actually become such a meme. I actually found an Easter egg of it in a game I was playing. I was playing Abduction, and there was a list of parts from a nuclear submarine that some guy was making because he was disassembling a nuclear submarine to try to utilize its warheads. And one of the items on the list next to circuitry parts was a retro encabulator. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, so it's become a very well established meme. I'm not surprised you guys haven't heard of it, because it's probably not in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I found out about it in engineering school, and it's been fucking hilarious ever since. But yeah.
Well, now we sort of kind of understand the joke.
Engineering school. I mean, it's no clown college, but you know.
I kind of want to pause the podcast just to show it to you real quick. It's like 3 minutes long, but we can do that during the break.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so retro encabulators, they help prevent side fumbling, especially when you attach the Mazel farms to the up end of the gram meters. Anyway,
you are just saying words, sir.
That is the video. That is literally the video. It is literally the fucking video.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just 3 minutes of that.
All right. Right. So since I am not for things to do until more video games come out, I've decided to start binging an anime.
Oh.
I have watched one episode of this anime, and I will talk about it later when I have more to say about it.
Okay. I'm not
we can
sure
talk
which
about
anime
it
you're
during
talking
the
about.
anime section.
Maybe. Anyway, so let's go to Cube's email.
Ah, yes, because Cube did send in an email.
Yeah.
We have things to talk about.
Where the fuck is it? There it is. Listener, friend of the show, Cupid the Third, sent us an email at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com. Like you can too, and should. Little known fact, it is the only confirmed way to get into heaven. Is to send us an email at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com. So get on that and secure your soul.
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah, take our word for it. Just like all religions. Anyway. Oh, sorry. That was not included. There was not he did not open the email with it didn't happen. That was me. He says, "Yo BGS."
That's us.
Bethesda Game Studio. That's Bethesda Game Studios, if you weren't sure.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I have 5 questions for y'all. We may have 5 answers. Or possibly, if we all have different answers about each question, we could have up to 15 answers. Answer overload.
Ooh, fun.
We probably won't.
Yeah.
But we could. We'll have somewhere between 5 and 15 answers.
I can't I can't promise my answers will be sensical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. He'll be like, what's the best
Sensible.
one?
Why did I say sensical? You know what? I'm gonna jump out my window now.
No, there's sensical.
I was an English major, god damn it!
See, I'm only an English minor, so I'm allowed to make minor flubs like that.
I'm a minor, stop!
Reminds me of one of my favorite Gravity Falls gags. It's like, sorry, no minors allowed in the bar, and then it cuts to a guy with a pickaxe going, no.
Love that.
Anyway, 5 questions. Let's start. 1A, you're cheating. This is all you're already cheating. You're already cheating. Whatever. 1A, why has Sonic had such a rough road in the 3rd dimension? It seems like post-Dreamcast Sonic has gone from a joke, Sonic 06, Sonic Boom, to a mixed bag, Unleashed Forces. Would you describe Forces as a mixed bag, Kevin?
I would describe Forces as a lot of things, and that's maybe one of them.
To some bangers here and there, Generations, Colors, recently Frontiers. Well, Mario seems to have done well in the 3rd dimension, besides the speed bump that is Super Mario Sunshine. Some people might disagree with that.
I would think a lot of people would disagree with that.
On the inverse, 1B, why has Mario's recent 2D games seemed to be very safe mid and lacking the magic that Mario 2, 3, and World had? Well, Sonic in 2D seems to be a consistent banger, aside from the speed bump that is Sonic 4.
The Sonic 4 is a little bit more than the speed bump, hon, but I'll keep that one to myself. Okay, so...
Would you describe it as a mixed bag?
I would describe it as a dumpster fire. But
You would describe
Can I
it
get
as
my
worse.
answer first?
Is it worse? Is
Can I
it
get my
worse?
answer first?
Kevin, here's the one sec. Here's the ultimate question. What's worse, Sonic 4 or Forces?
Sonic 4, because Sonic Forces doesn't feel like I'm pulling teeth.
Okay, fair enough. Although to be fair, you could use a little teeth pulling if we're all being honest.
Shut up. But okay, so to answer the first half of the question, 3D Sonic actually did start out pretty strong, and part of that is just because Sonic Team has always been a bit of a smaller team of developers. They only have like 100 or so people actually working for them at any given time. And what really helped with Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2 was they were developed for a singular system, just the Dreamcast. So they didn't have to deal with having to develop the game for multiple different hardware types with like vastly different power outputs. So Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, they have their issues, but then again, most, like with the exception of like more recent games, because 3D movement and platforming is basically a solved problem at this point. Like with the exception of some recent games, like a lot of franchises have kind of a rocky transition into 3D. But I would argue Adventure and Adventure 2 are pretty good games overall. There are a couple of elements that don't quite work as well in each game, and that's, a discussion for another time entirely, but generally speaking, they're good. But the biggest issue really came when Sega went multi-platform, and they began to... They started having to develop games for multiple systems. Now...
Oh, like everyone else.
Yeah, so... fun fact, Sonic Heroes was actually originally supposed to be a GameCube and Xbox exclusive. They were not planning to put it on PS2. The reason why being the PS2 was actually much weaker hardware comparatively to GameCube and Xbox. But Sony actually strong-armed Sega and said, if you don't release Sonic Heroes on our system, we will not let you release any games on our system ever. So... it was basically just like, give us Sonic Heroes or we will blacklist you. And with PS2 being the most popular system at the time, they couldn't really afford that. So they had to develop Sonic Heroes initially for 2 systems, but then they had, halfway through production, they had to switch to developing it for a 3rd, less powerful system. And that resulted in the game having a lot of limitations in terms of design. Basically all 4 main story, like all 4 story modes, Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team Chaotix, they basically play the same. The difference is just basically how they actually complete levels. Yeah. But yeah, no, Sonic Heroes was just a massive clusterfuck of development, and that kind of stretched on into Shadow the Hedgehog, which was a very ambitious title, trying to be, this large, open-ended story where it's like, you decide where the story goes kind of thing. But that is a clusterfuck in and of itself that I don't even want to start on. I love Shadow the Hedgehog. It's a terrible game.
Yeah.
It is my ultimate guilty pleasure game. But honestly, I would say things really came to a head in Sonic 06 because of a combination of... Sonic 06 was originally supposed to be developed for 360, PS3, and Wii, but partway through development, they actually got the Wii development kits and realized, fuck, there's no way in hell that we can actually port this and have it be a half-decent experience, so... we're just going to splinter off half the development team from Sonic 06 to make a Wii exclusive game, Secret Rings. And because the team for this massive, basically Sonic Adventure 3 style game ended up getting halved partway through production, that resulted in, development falling massively behind. They had to scale back a ton of plans, they weren't able to implement a lot of features, a lot of power-ups, even like a day and night cycle. They weren't able to actually implement that the way that they wanted to.
Then it was Christmas rushed.
It was Christmas rushed to try and make it out in time for the PS3's launch, which they fucking failed at that, by the way.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Sonic 06 was just a clusterfuck of design, and because of the failure of Sonic 06, they tried to pivot to a different type of 3D game with the Boost series, beginning with Sonic Unleashed. The biggest issue at this point is just that it feels like Sega doesn't even know what the fuck to do with Sonic in 3D. Like, they had it kind of figured out at the beginning of the 6th generation, but then development issues kind of caused everything to splinter off into a million different directions, and it's hard to consolidate it now.
Hot take.
What?
Titanfall 2 was the best modern Sonic game.
That's an interesting take.
So the reason I say that is because if you look at how Titanfall 2 did its platforming, it's extremely fast.
Okay.
But the movement system is so fluid. The reason I can't play Sonic is because I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
And when you're bad at Sonic, it kills the vibe.
Oh,
completely.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think Titanfall 2's movement system is so fluid that it makes it a lot easier to interact with. You don't get stonewalled nearly as often.
Yeah.
By like hitting a wall and then falling straight to your death, and then all the speed just going from "oh man, the speed feels so good" to just flopping flaccid and falling to your death.
My issue with Sonic. My issue with Sonic has always been that I don't having to replay the same levels over and over to get to the point where you can play them as intended has just never been a fun thing to me.
Right. No, that's totally fair. I actually don't mind that personally. So
yeah.
Well, you're accustomed to failure on a regular basis, so.
Haha.
Oh. So can I comment on Mario?
Sure.
I think speed is the reason that Sonic has also struggled. When you're going that fast, you can't build super complex environments.
Yes.
Because of the nature of just going that fast. And I think Mario, being a slower character, has allowed them to build more intricate and detailed levels in design, starting from Mario 64 and going onward, that are less punishing to traverse and more steady in their pacing. So I think that's the big reason. I think starting off, Mario just works better for 3D platforming. Not that Sonic can't be done. They've obviously proven it can be.
Yeah.
It's just, I think Mario took off much better from the beginning because they started with an easier formula to adapt into a third dimension.
Definitely.
That allowed them to build more interesting and intricate levels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Although to be fair, his question is asking why recent 2D Mario games have been
right.
safe.
I'm getting to that. Getting to that. That's because I think the book was open and shut with Super Mario World. Everything that they can do from then on is just a lateral movement. I don't know if there's any way they can innovate the formula without completely changing what makes Mario Mario. As far as 2D platformers go. So, since we've all played Super Mario World, or we've all played one of the modern, or since everybody alive who's played a Mario game has probably played one of the modern 2D Mario games at some point in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Whether starting from Super Mario World on. And everything is just a lateral movement. I don't think there's ever been a forward movement. I think they have their formula, and they're so scared to try to change that formula from the ground up, which is what they would have to do in order to really innovate that series, that it all ends up becoming very samey.
Well, my hot take about that is that I also
don't think Nintendo cares as much.
I think the stagnation of 2D Mario has a lot to do with Miyamoto's weird hangups. Where he has a very defined idea of what Mario is, that he doesn't like being challenged, to the point where people like Koizumi have to sneak like narrative beats into Mario games when he's not looking. Like he did not like that's my favorite bit of trivia, is that Miyamoto did not want Rosalina's like story stuff in Galaxy, and Koizumi had to sneak it in there when he wasn't looking. Like you can do a lot of creative things with Mario. It's like a canvas for that sort of thing, but they've been and they did that for a while, because like if you look at a lot of the the games in like the 2000s or whatever, there was a lot of experimentation going on.
There was, yeah.
In terms the Game Boy games were very different. The Sunshine was the departure in a lot of ways, both aesthetically and in some terms design, as was Galaxy to a degree. But like now, I think Miyamoto's hold over the franchise is so tight that he has his idea of what Mario is, and it's hard for people under him to get new things in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like somewhere, somehow, there is a refusal to change the basic formula.
Yeah.
And there's only so many things you can do within that existent formula to change the gameplay. So everything feels like a lateral movement, not a forward, not a.
Yeah. I would also say that I also just want to point out to Cube that recent here is a bit of a misnomer, because the new series has been around for a while, and there hasn't been like an actual new entry in the new series for a while. It's mostly just been up ports.
Yeah.
So that was a while ago. They haven't actually made a new 2D Mario game in quite some time.
I think New Super Mario Brothers 2 was the last one they did.
Yeah, and that was like 2013, I think.
Yeah, so that was almost 10 years ago. But yeah.
It's been a hot minute, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's basically my answer there too. So, yep. That's the point I was gonna make.
I know way more about Mario than I know about Sonic, so I can only comment from like my personal experience, but just looking from a third perspective or an outside perspective. But I think with Sonic, the struggle with their game design is the fact that Sonic moves so goddamn fast.
Yeah.
It's hard to build. It's hard to build levels when you're moving that fast, intricate levels that fast, without making them insanely or unplayably difficult.
Yeah.
2D chopping off an entire dimension makes that a little bit more possible, but even then, the older games are still very difficult to play as intended, like Zeke said.
Yeah.
So adding a third dimension.
Until you play them again and again to get what the layout and the flow is, it never quite feels like you're playing them right, even if you beat it.
Oh, try playing Headphone Jack for the SNES.
Yeah.
That
For
game
me,
is
Sonic just has the problem where, like, even when I beat the level, I never feel like I did it right. But
Yeah.
anyway, there's more questions, so let's get to that.
Yeah.
Number two, piggybacking off of an answer from the how it was like being an anime fan in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s thread on Reddit, why does anime seem to attract some individuals that have bigoted, xenophobic views and those who flex on progressives? If it wasn't for globalization, anime wouldn't be the juggernaut it is today. Anime explored themes on sexuality, gender, and various spicy themes years before it was arguably safe to do so in American media. Some of those themes were even scrubbed out of in earlier American editions. I understand Japan as a whole is not a bastion of progressivism like some weebs hype it up to be. Why are anime fans so racist, Kevin?
I'm not entirely sure, actually.
I have some reasonably confident guesses.
I think one of the things is that I see a lot of characters that are very much about classic conservative values, and I'm not saying conservatives are racist. Not all conservatives are racist. But a lot of them tend to lean conservative, and I know that a lot of characters are very much about achieving things by the sweat of their own brow, and you know,
I think there's a Venn diagram between common Asian sort of values and conservative values.
Yeah,
they're not the same, but there's a lot. If you only pay attention to what they're saying, there's a lot of overlap there. Ostensibly.
Yeah, and I think that what you're seeing is that because of that, it attracts a lot of people with those values here, and just some of those people happen to be racist.
I don't think it's
the fault of the genre at all.
It's also the fact that due to their long history of isolationist policies, among other things, Japan is probably one of the closest examples in the world of like an unintentional ethno-state, almost.
Yeah.
It is a very homogenized population.
Yeah.
So when you have people attracted to those ideals, both real and misinterpreted, and also on top of that, they have a society that is efficient and superior to Western society in various ways.
Yeah.
With like transportation and most visibly with things like transportation and livable spaces and things like that. And also they happen to be a fairly racially homogenous nation. You sort of get that crossbreed effect. The wires cross in people's brains where it attracts that sort of people to the culture.
Yeah,
which is kind of deeply ironic if you think about it.
I think it also helps that almost every single main character of every single anime, with like a handful of notable exceptions, look Caucasian.
That's a loaded statement.
Yeah. But
I guess you could argue there is a degree of like separation there. Yeah. There's a hair in my mouth. Fuck. Okay.
You know.
Yeah, but I think it really is. It's a matter of misinterpreted or misappropriated values. The admiration of a ethnically homogenous nation, and a longing for something better.
I guess. Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a combination of a lot of things.
But I don't think it's the fault of the art genre itself. I think it's fault of some of the narrative beats and some of the characters have just happened to identify with things that are adjacent to that to people who also happen to be racist.
Well, it's also just that people see what they want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I said this when I made the now infamous Elon Musk tweet. I said never underestimate anyone's ability to drastically misinterpret a story to suit whatever weird agenda they have.
Yep.
And that goes for this as well.
Yep, and the muskrats just hate you for that.
Oh yeah. Number 3, what was your anime red pill? To define red pill in this context, what made you realize the anime you were watching on Toonami, Kids WB, Fox Kids, etc., and what have you was a bullshit version of the anime? Yu-Gi-Oh! I've gone over that before.
Yeah, I've gone over it before, but it was a combination of One Piece and Tokyo Mew Mew.
Yeah, we're just 4 kids abuse victims, honestly.
We really are.
I think it was probably Etika 7 because that was the first time I ever checked out a Japanese dub of anything. So that was like mid 2000s, I think.
Yeah, but like
when I checked out the uncensored Japanese version, I saw that they had edited out several scenes from the show because they were either hyper violent.
Oh, on the Toonami run?
Yeah, no, on the original Adult Swim run.
Adult Swim action.
Etika 7, they actually censored a couple things out of the show because they were too violent.
Yeah. There were actually a number of Adult Swim shows that like.
Etika 7 is a very wholesome show, and then randomly it just had getting their smashed off and their bodies crushed in it. Like, yeah, it just goes hard for no reason sometimes, like Symphogear.
Yeah, there are actually a number of early Adult Swim action shows that like Adult Swim initially had a hard cutoff of like.
No. So I'm sorry, excuse me. It was Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh,
it was Yu Yu Hakusho because Yu Yu Hakusho at one point was airing both on Adult Swim and Toonami, or they aired very close to each other, and I watched both, and there was definitely a lot of shit edited out of the Toonami version. That they showed on Adult Swim. So that was kind of the first point where I was like, oh my god, shows a lot more adult than I originally interpreted.
You experienced the Midnight Run.
No, that was not Toonami Midnight Run. That was Adult Swim.
Well, it had the same effect though because it was running.
Yeah, Toonami Midnight Run was done by the time Adult Swim came around though, because obviously time slot for Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Number 4. So the full trailer is out for the Mario movie, and is it wrong I'm still on Team Martinet for Mario? Nothing against Chris Pratt, but Martinet's voice for Mario is iconic. Plus his performance in Dragon Ball Superhero proves to me that Martinet can act, it isn't just sound bites. I can compromise on the rest of the cast as either some had different voice actors over the games or weren't voice actors to begin with. I think Martinet got a raw deal. We can talk all day about celebrity voice discourse, but this is Mario, any Joe Normie under the age of 50 knows who Mario is at this point, so to use Chris Pratt as a marketing ploy is stupid to me. Mario is a good name to sell on. Sonic didn't have an A-list celebrity to sell the movie. Plus, is it just me, or does Chris Pratt's Mario emanate Mr. Potato Head energy?
I disagree with that last statement. I don't think it's wrong for you to be on Team Martinet because he's a well-respected voice actor in the community, and he's also done a fantastic job portraying that character exactly as intended for so many years. That being said, I'd like to remind everybody that just because you can voice act a few lines in a video game does not necessarily mean you have the chops for a full-budget, multi-million-dollar movie that they expect to make millions of dollars on.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, I mean, this is why you don't see a lot of anime voice actors make it into dubs for like animated feature film. They just don't have the acting chops.
I think that's disingenuous. No, I don't think I agree with that.
Objection. That's fine. You can agree. You can disagree with it. I'm just telling you, this is the perspective. Like that a lot of people. This is the perspective the industry has.
Just because
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what it is. And it's like just because and Martinet may have. Do we even know if he auditioned? He may have not even auditioned.
Charles Martinet actually is in the movie, but he's only in there in like apparently cameo roles. So
okay. Well, so here's my weird statements aside. Here's my other thing. I don't think it's wrong for you to be on Martinet's team, but I would like to see everybody give Chris Pratt a chance because I've seen a couple of lines by him that were awkward, but I've also seen a couple of lines from him that were perfectly fine.
The biggest issue I have with Chris Pratt's interpretation of Mario at this point, and here's the thing: after the first teaser, I was still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because we didn't hear much from him. But we've heard more of Chris Pratt's take on Mario in the second trailer. The big issue I'm having is not necessarily that I have an issue with It's less that I have an issue with his particular take on the character, and more so, I don't know what the fuck his take on the character actually is. Because it seems like what he's actually going for...
The trailers just don't focus on it.
It just seems very inconsistent what he's actually going for in terms of like a vocal performance, because sometimes he's,
because it's all out of context clips.
Yeah, it is, but
yeah, that's what I'd also like to point out is a lot of what we're seeing is very out of context.
I think they've done a very bad job at selling people on the idea because the trailers don't focus on it, and it's just little lines out of context from the scenes they're in. You don't get the big establishment of what the character is supposed to sound like with him.
Yeah.
So it's just something I have to reserve judgment for the full movie.
Yeah. I think that's what everybody should do is just reserve your judgment, go see the movie, and then if we all decide that it was terrible, then we can hate train it appropriately.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Sure.
Because it is an elimination film, and we love to hate train elimination.
Yeah, but more to the point about Charles Martinet, I just don't think his voice fits the version of Mario they wanted in this movie, because this is clearly going back to the guy from Brooklyn, the Super Show style roots.
That's true. Yeah.
Or that was never Martinet. That was never Martinet's take. They sort of reinvented the character in the games for Martinet, and now they're kind of going back to like the original like inception of the character, which was pre Martinet. So it kind of makes sense that they're not going for Martinet for that, because like his voice for Mario is not guy from Brooklyn. It is very much Italian plumber, so also, it's just
also I don't want to hate on a studio too much who is going to be spending millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and that requires a lot of voice acting, and choosing a professional A-list actor to try to portray that character so that they can make their money back.
Because I guarantee what their thought process is, okay, so we're going back to the guy from Brooklyn, the everyman route for Mario. who's really famous and does voice acting and has like a sort of like a Joe everyman voice?
That's a good
Chris Pratt. Well, Chris Pratt, like he can do that. He can do the guy from Brooklyn, So that was what their thought process was. I don't think it's necessarily we want Chris Pratt because he's a big name. We need a guy who fills this sort of Joe Everyman voice really well, and to his credit, Chris Pratt does that.
To be fair, that's literally the character he plays in Lego Movie.
Anyway. In question 5, I've been sitting on this question for a while, so here it is. I've been in the Chris Chan rabbit hole for a bit via the Chris Chan detailed history videos. So if the entire Chris Chan saga from birth to right now was an Aita post, what would your verdict be and why? I'm gonna be entirely honest. I only know about Chris Chan from interstitial bits and pieces here and there. I've been meaning to go through the detailed history for a while, and one day I will. It's just a lot.
It is
It's a lot. I
It's-
know a lot about Chris Tree, so I can
Yeah.
comment on this one.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So the question is Chris the asshole for everything that he's done in his life
Sure.
or her life or whatever? Yes.
Yeah.
So I understand that he or she had terrible parents. I understand that she had a lot of bullies, and I understand that she has incredibly severe autism. That being said, there's only so much I can tolerate a person who is sinking in a pool of their own stool of the life that they have created themselves and does nothing to act on it and blames everyone else.
Yeah.
If you're on fire, you should try to douse that fire. If you're on fire, if your first reaction is to blame everyone else for being on fire, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
If you set yourself on fire. And Chris Chan, a lot of what they have done in their life is set themselves on fire. You know, they maced a guy at fucking GameStop. They assaulted kids at a game store. They tried to run a dude over. They begged for money on the internet.
They're a rapist now.
They are an actual rapist and partaker in incest now.
Yeah.
None of these choices I can like. Plenty of people live miserable lives. Plenty of people suffer through autism. Plenty of people severe autism. Plenty of people do other and have all of these things go terrible things happening at the same time. But I can't say that all of them turn into rapists. I can't say that all of them assault children at game stores. I can't say all of them mace people at GameStop because they're asked to leave because they've been banned from the store.
Yeah.
Like, for other things that they've done. Like, Chris is the asshole.
Yeah.
And there is just something wrong with their personality. And that's what we say. When something's wrong with your personality, you're a fucking asshole.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think some of it has been exacerbated, obviously, by the trolling and by the bad parenting and by the fact that people constantly feed their ego to troll them. But like, it's not all of it.
Yeah.
There is a seed of assholery in that person. And all the other people have done is let it flourish and grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my overall thing is that Chris is an asshole. And I mean, one of the letters that just came out of jail recently, or out of prison recently, to one of his quote unquote fans or her fans, literally said, it basically, long story short, was saying, oh yeah, I basically hope my mom dies so I can go back home to jail. Because he thinks that if Barb dies, he won't go to jail because there will be no one to press charges against him. Well, the state is the one pressing charges against them.
Yeah, it's a federal offense.
Well, it's a felony.
Yeah.
And when a felony is involved, you don't have to have a person press charges against you. The state presses charges against you for the felony.
Yeah.
So even if Barb died, as long as they have evidence that but they're under the impression that if Barb dies, I don't have to go to jail and I can go home and play with Lego and keep making Sonichu comics that I'll never fucking upload.
Yeah.
So no, my overall, knowing what I know about Chris and knowing the circumstances that they're in, asshole, 100%.
100%. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah. And then bonus question: is Kanye okay? No.
No. God, no.
My God, man.
Look, when you get to the point
Stay in
where
your fucking lane, dude. Just keep making music, dog.
when you get to the point where Alex Jones doesn't even like where Alex Jones is concerned about you, then you fucked up.
Oh yeah, that was a great clip where Alex Jones tried to give him so many outs. It was like, so you say you like Hitler, but like, it's like just the fashion, right? You like the uniform, and he's like, no, I love Hitler, I love him a lot. And Alex Jones just looks at the camera like,
you can hear the fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm theme playing in the background at that point.
You know how people used to think that rap music was like, everybody who was doing rap music or whatever? I think we actually found the Antichrist. I think it's Kanye West. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the
worships
whole,
the literal devil.
God, the whole shit with Kanye West is it's simultaneously funny and just deeply, deeply unsettling. Though this has resulted in some interesting side effects, such as one...
I'm just waiting for the memes, man.
Well, there is one UK tattoo parlor who is offering free laser removals for any Kanye West tattoos, and they call the promotion Yeezy
Fucking
Come,
based.
Yeezy Go.
That's hilarious. Also based as fuck.
Yep.
Nice.
Go, whatever. If somebody has the name of that tattoo parlor, drop it in the comments below, and everybody goes to them.
Yes, absolutely. That's great.
But no, he is not a he is spiraling. He's got some kind of mental illness. I'm not super well informed on
Like
that.
some kind of like psychosis or something. I don't know.
He's got some mental problems, and
Yeah.
he's on a very public spiral. Not okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the email. Thanks for sending it. You too can send an email at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com if you
More
want
emails. We like answering your questions, even if they're weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Especially if they're weird.
Oh yeah. If you want to ask us what's the best way to fuck a balloon animal, we'll try to figure that out.
Dear Lord, no! No!
My brother in Christ, you had the answer.
Shall we break for the second segment where you guys talk about JoJo and then go to the
Yeah.
Reddit dive? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll be right. Stay tuned to the Baka Gaijin show. Welcome back to the second segment.
Second segment, yes. Clearly, this is the second Damn. Where'd Sarah go? God damn it.
Hey, look up behind you! It's a guy with a gun!
Oh God! Hold up. Wait. Okay, there we go. Hold on. God, shit! Fuck.
No, your face! Your beautiful face!
It's okay.
Skin and pores and stuff.
It's okay. I'll be fine. I got it.
Yeah, you better. I already will have established that you'll be fine, therefore you must be.
Fuck yeah, no, it's okay. I'll
Walk it off.
I'll be fine. Don't worry. I can still talk. I can still do the podcast. We can still talk about JoJo.
What did that guy even want anyway? Maybe he's mad about all your racism earlier.
Ah, fuck. Shit, he might be. Fuck.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
The circumstances of my life. Okay.
Anyway, we watched the last batch of Stoshin, so we figured we'd talk about it again.
Yep. So this is a weird example where you've just to recap real quick, you've actually read the manga of Stone Ocean before this adaptation actually aired.
Yeah.
Is that it? Just gonna say yeah.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right, cool. Glad we got that out of the way. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first time I've been going through like the actual story of Stone Ocean. It's again a thing where I know a fair amount about it simply through memes and pop cultural osmosis, but I don't know the actual context behind any of it. So it's just been kind of
Well, now you do.
I do. Like the fucking rainbows that turn you into snails. Like I heard that one before. I didn't understand what the context was, but now I do.
And you, to an extent, you still don't.
I kind of have a better idea, but
There sure was an explanation.
there was an explanation. Yes.
It's just, it is what it is.
Yep. Subliminal messaging. Sure. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess rainbows that subliminally make you think you're a snail, therefore you are a snail, is technically weather.
It technically counts as weather. Great job, Weather Report.
Yep.
God.
But anyway, let's talk about the show. So, Yeah, definitely a big upswing after the middle portion of this part.
Yeah, the maximum security arc, we went on a massive fucking tangent about this last time we talked about Stone
Yeah.
Ocean. But the maximum security arc is just, it's not good. It's really not. It's kind of poopy.
Yeah.
The fucking triple, fucking triple whammy of fucking Yo-Yo Ma, Dragon's Dream, and what was the other third one?
Planet Waves.
Fucking
Yeah,
Planet Waves.
in the reverse order of what you just said, but yes.
God, fucking Planet Waves.
Oh, your muscles are shining.
The funny thing about Planet Waves, which I know we're supposed to be talking about the third thing, but like the funny thing about Planet Waves is that
Do we have to talk about Planet Waves again? Let's stop talking about Planet Waves.
you think that's as bad as it gets. No, it gets worse.
Yeah. But anyway, no, we're talking about the good portion.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when they actually leave the fucking prison.
Yeah.
Yep. The jail has been broken, finally.
Yeah. They got past Jailhouse Lock. That was last core.
Yeah.
That was this one.
No, it happened like right at the end of Jailhouse Lock, and now we got like everything after that.
Yeah, I'm just saying they broke the Jailhouse Lock, and now they're out of the jail.
Okay.
Hence the...
Yes.
The score's better.
It is way better. God, it's really good actually. This might be one of my favorite, personally speaking, this might be one of my favorite stretches of JoJo material, and probably my favorite ending of any particular part of JoJo. But I'll get to that.
Sure.
So, what do you want to talk about first here? Because, God, a lot happened in 14 episodes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty fun ride through these last remaining arcs from the insanity of heavy weather. That's not the first one, but you know, I guess I'll start with at the start here, which is something I don't like as much, which is I'm not a big I'm with Shuckmeister on this. I'm not a huge fan of the Dio's sons.
They're fine, but they kind of just...
First of all, while it does logistically make sense, I'm not a huge fan of Dio having more sons. It kind of cheapens Giorno as a character.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but also they're so undercooked. I get what they're saying about Fate drawing stand users together and whatnot, and all that conspicuous stuff, but like I get the greater thematic points they contribute to, but I don't. The problem is their characters aren't super fleshed out or interesting, so they come across as typical, enemy stand user lackeys that just also happen to be Dio's sons.
Yeah,
and it just feels kind of random and not quite earned. And while they aren't bad encounters, they're certainly a huge step up from the ones in the middle of the part. I feel like things really don't get going until heavy weather.
Yeah, heavy weather is really where this particular stretch hits its stride, because the encounters with Dio's sons up to this point are fine. They're entertaining. They are, but
yeah.
You really...
let's just go through real quick, because Bohemian Rhapsody, it's fun. I think it ends really anticlimactically.
It does, yeah.
Where I get kind of the in joke of like, well, I'll just make a character whose power is undoing the situation. That's really funny, but it's really anticlimactic for how much it's built up.
Is like this dude just gets on a plane. Bye.
Yeah, and they don't even really confront the stand user directly. Like, shit just kind of happens.
Yeah. It's not really a stand battle so much as it's just a stand encounter.
The real problem I have with the Dio Sons thing is that it feels like it's just kind of padding the part out until we get to the weather reveals of Poochie's backstory and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, Bohemian Rhapsody, it's fun, because, if there's no Mickey, this shit ain't Disney. And if there's no Mickey, this shit ain't Disney, then this ain't Stone Ocean. But beyond the novelty factor, and a few neat scenes, it's not a great battle, and it ends kind of anticlimactically.
Yeah.
And also, Ungolo is like the weakest of Dio's sons, honestly.
Yeah, his design just like
It's the design,
even his
he
design
doesn't
isn't
have-
very good.
His design sucks. There's not much character to him. Rikiel has a better design and a bit of a better character, but the actual
He actually does have a proper motivation.
yes, and I like that about it. That said, his power is very weird, and it's just kind of like a whatever fight to me.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like Talking Head and Crash tier, where like
Yeah.
it's fine, but like it's sandwiched. It's it's not quite up to the level of the better fights in the part. But like Rikiel himself has more motivation than the previous Dio son, so it works out in that respect. And then Versus has the most, and I will say the Memories of the Earth is an interesting power. There's a lot of interesting connotations to that.
Yeah, I actually do quite like Underworld as a stand ability.
Yeah, Underworld is neat.
Yeah.
And that whole scenario with the memory of the plane under the earth, and then I love the part where he takes the children hostage because
That's just such a bastard move. It's like, oh, I don't need to destroy the seats. Give me a fucking second. Just drop 3 children in there. Now what are you gonna do, bitch?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's such a dick move, and I love it.
Yeah, and I do like Versus's further conniving during the heavy weather arc.
Oh yeah.
But overall, I would say like the 3 battles that consist of like fighting the Sons of Dio. It's definitely a big step up from the Maximum Security arc, but it still kind of feels like padding it out until we get to Pucci and Weather's backstory.
Yeah.
So. And that's what I'll say. Like I know you're trying to come into this with a lot of positivity, and I appreciate that. And I'll let you say your piece.
Yeah, no. It's fair enough to actually get through the negative stuff first, because there's a lot of positive stuff to get through here.
Yeah. I'm just trying to establish that. And while I will have a lot of positive things to say later, I'm still on the train of I think Stone Ocean is definitely one of the weaker parts.
Definitely.
I honestly think it's the weakest part since part 1. And while I do have a lot of good things to say about it, the more you start to look at the plot as a whole, there's bits and pieces of it that just kind of fall apart under close scrutiny.
Yeah.
And this part, more than the other ones, I feel has a distinct... It has a lot of momentum, but not a lot of plot, if that makes sense. Like I just said, these 3 fights are kind of padding. They're just kind of like, oh shit, Pucci ran out of stand users. Well, now he's drawn to Dio's sons because fate, and so we get 3 more easy battles out of it.
Yeah. I will admit one of the biggest overarching issues with Stone Ocean is that it more than any other part is just kind of a things happen plot. Up until we actually get the motivation for Pucci to attain heaven.
Which is its own thing I'll get to. But yeah, it is definitely a things happen plot. And another part, this affects a lot of things about the part, which is that I think it has one of the weaker casts. And part of that is because it's a twofold problem. Part of it is that their focus is very compartmentalized. And when one character's focus is over, they just kind of get shelved for a bit. This happened... Ermi's very prominent in the first core, completely ridden out of the middle section of the part. Same thing with Weather for the most part, where he had that thing with Long Wrangler or whatever. Early on, and then he was ridden out for a long time. Foo Fighters had her moment, and then she dies. So like, there's a lot of people coming in and out of focus, and it never quite gels into a cohesive whole.
Yeah.
But there's also very little downtime in Stone Ocean. Once you get to like the honestly, from like John Gallier on, the part just does not stop moving.
True.
there's very little actual downtime like there was in previous parts.
There is quite a bit of like forward momentum throughout the story. So yeah, that is true.
There's a lot of forward momentum, but like I said, not a lot of plot.
Yeah.
It always a lot of the plot, a lot of the part, and this is going kind of beyond discussing just the final third, which we'll do later. But we're also discussing the part as a whole. There's a lot about Stone Ocean that's just sort of like here's a long-standing objective, and here's a series of mostly filler stand battles until we can unlock that objective.
Yeah,
like finding the bone or getting to the Kennedy Space Center or whatever. It's always something like that.
Oh right, Dio's bone was a fucking plot point earlier. Fuck.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I want to talk about is the Green Baby, because it's a long-standing fan theory that like the plot of the part shifted mid-writing. A lot of people really seem to think the Green Baby was originally setting up some sort of resurrection for Dio before he changed his mind, and I kind of have to agree. It feels like there was supposed It feels like there was supposed to be something more substantial with the Green Baby, but then he's just kind of ridden off and he fuses with Whitesnake to become Sea Moon. And the Sea Moon fight is awesome. Don't get me wrong.
I love the Sea Moon fight.
Yeah, the Sea Moon fight is great, but it just kind of feels like the Green Baby was sort of ridden off as a plot device.
Yeah. Like
a lot of the plot of the part made a whole lot of humdrum about Dio's bone and the Green Baby, only for it to not really amount to much. Which makes a lot of people really think that the plot of the part kind of shifted mid-writing.
Yeah, like it was just Araki not really knowing quite what direction he wanted to take the story, and things just kind of shifted partway through.
It really feels like he was trying to set up a Dio resurrection of some kind, and then he just like, no.
Yeah.
Whether that's right or wrong, it does make the part feel a little weird.
Yeah, it makes sense if that's the case.
Yeah.
And that's one of the bigger issues of Part 6 as a whole. Just there's elements that just kind of get dropped or de-emphasized simply because the focus of the plot shifts so dramatically.
That kind of happens in every part, but it's especially notable here.
It's egregious here, honestly.
Like Stone Ocean, if you want my thoughts on Stone Ocean as a whole, I think it has a lot of great ideas, but the execution is just kind of a lot of the time sort of like... It felt like he was burnt out, particularly with some of those really bad stand battles in the middle.
Yeah, because
it felt like he was...
It's worth noting that Araki had been doing weekly chapters of JoJo for about 15 years at this point, and and JoJo stand battles are very complex by nature, so at some point he was going to hit burnout doing this on a weekly grind. So it makes sense that, he took a break after this, and then after the first couple volumes of Steel Ball Run, Rin, and Weekly Jump, he switched over to a monthly magazine. So it makes sense.
Yeah, but the remnants of his burnout in the early 2000s of Stone Ocean are definitely still apparent here.
Yeah.
There's an inconsistent plotting, fights that mostly exist as padding, some fights that are just bad.
Yeah.
There's middling ones, and then there's just like bad ones.
The thing is, up until this point, I can't think of a single stand battle that I just flat out did not like. And
until part 6, you mean?
Until part 6 with Planet Waves and Dragon's Dream. Yeah,
that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe the rock paper scissors kid in part 4.
Even then, that had the draw of Rohan being an absolute fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Rohan's fun. Rohan's a lot of fun.
It's hard to go wrong with a Rohan chapter.
Yeah.
I can't... There's some ones in Stardust that are kind of basic, but they're not bad. They're just simple.
Yeah. The biggest thing with Stardust Crusaders is that it was Araki introducing stand battles, so a lot of them had to be simple by nature. So it was him working through what it actually was to be a stand fighter. Yeah.
And honestly, I think a lot of them are held up by how fun the Crusaders themselves are.
Yeah.
And, there's just something about a wacky road trip hijinks that is just fun, But anyway, on to the actual plot. Let's shift over to the heavy weather arc.
Yes.
Where things are, first of all, shit's weird.
Shit gets so weird here.
It's very weird. But it's complex. It's complex and confounded in a good way. And we get the reveal of Weather and Poochie's backstory, which I already knew, but you did not.
I did not know Weather and Poochie's backstory, and I actually really like it. It's a great little way of tying both Weather Report and Poochie's backstories together. I was not expecting surprise incest as a plot point, but here we are.
Were you expecting the KKK?
I was not expecting the Klan. No.
The Klan was definitely censored from the manga. In the manga, they're like in full garb and
Yeah.
just like drink in. They got shotguns.
Yeah.
It's like a full fucking Klan party, and in the anime, it's just kind of a generic mob with pitchforks and shit.
Yeah, but they...
Which is weird. Which is a weird bit of censorship, because it's not like you could ever interpret the manga as being pro-Klan.
Yeah, because, like, the story is still very clearly racism bad, and it causes people to die unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. That is the crux of the issue here.
Yeah, that's definitely... I have a few niggles with the censorship, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. That's the elephant in the room.
They made the Klansmen a lot less overt, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like,
but whatever.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that it set it instilled a lot of Poochie's beliefs about determinism and fate, and it gave Weather a reason to want to kill Poochie. So
it did, yeah. It's really good for setting up character motivation. It's really good for deepening the relationship between the two and why the two of them are just drawn together.
Yeah.
And I just really enjoy the entire tragic element of the backstory where, you know, they're both of their sister honestly, like, she just ended up getting caught in between, like, just a really bad, like, the whole thing is that Poochie was trying to prevent her from having the extreme heartbreak of realizing, oh no, you're actually my biological brother. Yeah. And that kind of thing. But by trying to go behind her, because, like, the whole thing is that Poochie was like training for priesthood, and that was like that information was given to him at the confessional, and he cannot disclose that information to anybody.
Sure.
Like because of, you know, his training. So he had to go behind, you know, everybody and everything and just be like, look, don't ask why I'm having you do this. I just want you to make these two break up. And he just happened...
And then they fucking lynch him.
He just happened to find the one private investigator who was also a goddamn Klansman. So, whoops!
Yeah, and it really... It's the turning point for Poochie, where he becomes obsessed with this idea of knowing your fate and being able to prepare for your fate is what brings happiness and makes everything better. Because, you know, everything was caused by the fact that he couldn't do these things, and if he had only known, then things could have turned out differently.
He could not have foreseen anything that happened, and that just ate away at him for years.
Yeah, and that's the obsession of his character, is that incident where if he had only known how things are going to happen, things could have turned out better, and now he wants to project that upon all of humanity.
Yeah, it's also really good for showcasing what exactly drew him to Dio and Dio's power, because Dio was the only person he knew that had the ability to give him the power, or give him the ability to attain the power to let him, you know, affect causality in the way that best suited him.
Yeah.
But because of his religious upbringing, he became obsessed with the idea of, because this would make me feel better, it must also mean it will make everyone else feel better to know what is happening so that they can prepare for the inevitable.
Yeah. I'll have more to say. There's a Reddit comment I want to read later, and we'll get more into that later. But as far as the heavy weather arc itself, I really like I like versus his shenanigans.
Yep.
Lot of scheming. I like the part. I like when Poochie has already figured out how to not turn into a snail, which is to take away his own eyesight.
Yeah, I actually really like the utilization of Versus's abilities to literally dig up the past.
Yeah.
Because it leads to a lot of very interesting subterfuge with him trying
It
to...
also leads to Jolene getting dragged away by the Miami Dolphins.
It's
fun.
so fucking good.
The Earth remembers the Super Bowl.
I dug up... This is Florida. I dug up memories of the Super Bowl. There are so many good lines in this. God.
Yeah.
God, what was the one?
Yeah.
What was the one line that I brought up from fucking Bohemian Rhapsody?
I injected chocolate into my face.
Yes. Which, yeah, apparently Diver Down can do that. Cool.
Yeah. Like the blood spikes and the getting inside things and the blindness, it's all fun.
God, the blood spikes was just, oh my god, that entire section was great. Just pure fucking tension. Up until the realization of, oh, he's also making a blood spike out of the blood that's currently coming out of your body. Oh, and it just pierced your neck. Oh no.
Yeah, I really, it does lead to the part where he kills Weather, and then probably the most confusing bit of writing, and I understand it definitely leads to an incredibly hype moment, but it's so hackneyed. The part where Weather somehow, as he's dying, uses Whitesnake somehow to print his own disc.
Yeah, I that's a little contrived.
I don't understand the mechanics of that situation.
Yeah, because, like, the whole thing with Whitesnake is that Poochie has full control of Whitesnake and its abilities, so how was Weather able to utilize Whitesnake?
It feels like he needed that disc for the idea he had how to end the part, which is great.
Yeah.
But it felt like he couldn't contrive a reason why Poochie would need to take the disc back. Because all he needed to do was come up with some reason why Poochie would want to take Weather's disc again before killing him. But he just didn't, so it's just literally stated as Weather somehow got the disc. And it's definitely probably the cheapest bit of writing in the part and probably in the series.
Yeah.
I love what comes of it, but it's just completely hand wave. It's just Weather got the disc.
Yeah, what happens after that point is just wall to wall fantastic, but like
it's very contrived.
It's super contrived, yeah. And I don't mind a little bit of contrivance in writing so long as it makes some level of sense, but this is just like I don't know how this happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's shit in JoJo where it's like implausible, but like sure, why not? You know, it's like cars struck, but the redstone of Aja gravitated to his attack, and it's like okay,
yeah.
That stuff is like okay, fine, but like shit like this is just like okay, you're just making shit up.
Yeah, bullshit happened off screen. Now we have the thing we need.
Yeah. But anyway, then there's Sea Moon, and Sea Moon is great.
I fucking like honestly, just as a quick overview, the progression from Whitesnake to Sea Moon to Maiden Heaven is some of the best sequential writing in JoJo. Honest to God, it really is.
Yeah. The other thing I said is that Sea Moon, I tweeted about this. Sea Moon is a weirdly great demonstration of the power of 16:9 resolution in composition, because all the gravity shenanigans, they can really make for some amazing wide shots when you have all these weird angles.
Yeah, like the Sea Moon
and
fight
I was just
good.
I was just thinking when I was watching the Sea Moon arc, I was thinking, man, if this was animated back in the day in 4x3, it would not have the dynamism it has now.
Yeah, the Sea Moon fight is shockingly very cinematic in nature. It just makes full use of the widescreen aspect ratio, and it's very well storyboarded. It does a really good job of showcasing the shifts in gravity throughout the entire fight. That make it's super complex, but it's very easy to follow. And that's down to the really strong storyboarding that keeps perspective really well as to who is where, what orientation we're at, and at what point Seamoon's abilities begin to shift. Like
This whole third also is really good at emphasizing JoJo's strengths as a pseudo horror series.
Yes, God, there's so much fucking just like existential horror going on.
This was present in previous plots to varying degrees, but like especially in this final third of Stone Ocean, especially since the stands have gotten so weird and abstract. When you don't know what the fuck is going on, there's real horror vibes in a lot of what happens.
It becomes genuinely unsettling. Like we mentioned with Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, the whole fucking rainbows turn you into snails thing.
That was heavy weather, but yeah.
Right, heavy weather. But heavy weather, like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. People just start turning into snails. And you're just fucking confused, like, what is happening? Why are the rainbows making people turn into snails? God, that looks terrifying. Holy shit, fuck. Oh god, there are fucking snail-eating bugs!
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like an underworld where it's like you go into the hole and you're on a plane and it's 2005 and you're about to crash.
And you have 3 minutes to figure out how to survive.
Yeah.
Which is just a great fucking race against the clock thing. God.
Yeah, and Seamoon, when everything turns sideways and like all the cars just come barreling down the highway sideways.
Yeah, and Seamoon's ability to like fucking turn you inside out.
Yeah.
Which, God, that's so good. One of my favorite moments in the Seamoon fight actually regards that ability to like invert someone's gravity to like turn them inside out. Is when Seamoon turns Jolene's heart inside out. So, to make up for that, she turns her chest into a Mobius strip.
Yeah.
Which is so good.
It's great. Yeah, you can't turn it inside out if there's no backside.
It's so good. I love everything about
it's
that.
All backside.
I love everything about that. Just, mwah, brilliant writing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jotaro comes back.
Yeah, which leads to just a beautiful fucking reunion moment that's just very understated, but you can just tell, like, Jolene is just super happy her dad is back. God. She's just like,
yeah,
Dad.
And it leads into Made in Heaven, which is quite the spectacle.
Oh my god. Made in Heaven has some of the best fucking visuals this anime has ever seen. Just the... Oh god. Fuck. The entire...
It's also where the real horror vibes go, with all the reaction shots from everyone experiencing accelerated time.
Yeah, the way that accelerated time is showcased in the actual animation is super creative and just super visually engaging. You really do feel the horror and, like, the ticking time bomb aspect of there is a point where we can't go back and things are just fucked. And it's just kind of... You get the sense that it's going to be inevitable, that this is unstoppable.
Yeah, well, it has, like... The thing about Made in Heaven has a very universal, cosmological horror to it in the way that even previous big band stands didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, Bites the Dust. Yeah, it's a very powerful stand ability, but you don't get that sort of existential dread from it. Or even, you know, or even King Crimson, where, like, yes, very powerful, but, like, if you're far enough away, he can't hurt you.
Yeah, very powerful, and, like, the skipping time is unnerving, but, like, you can still kind of work around it.
Yeah. But with Made in Heaven, it's just... The entire universe is speeding towards the event horizon, and you can't stop it.
Yeah,
you know,
like you just have to hang on for dear life and hope you make it.
Yeah.
By the way, I love the fucking joke of the mangaka having trouble meeting deadlines because of the rapidly increasing time frame. He calls up his editor.
His ink dries before he can literally make a line.
Yeah, and then he calls up his editor, and his editor is like, "There's one person who's still making deadlines. Who is it? It's Rohan Kishibe."
Yeah. Funny.
Just so fucking funny that all this bullshit is happening and Rohan's still cranking out chapters regularly.
Yeah. So what's really cool about the Made in Heaven fight is that everyone's just huddled they're just huddled together. Everyone's using their abilities sort of like in conjunction with one another.
Yes. This is a really good example of just stand abilities working in tandem with one another to try and solve a problem.
There's a lot of comboing going on here just to try to measure up to just how fast Pucci is going.
Yeah.
I
adore the utilization of Diver Down in this.
Diver Down gets a lot of creative uses, and I love the Ghost Gun comboing with Kiss's retraction.
God, I love that so much.
Send them zipping all over, and they're all trying to work around Jotaro's time stop at the right moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's not enough, and Pucci kills them all.
Yeah, and Jotaro's time stop, because time has sped up so much, it affects how much time he can actually like pause for. So it's just like dramatically reduced. It's like almost to an instant. So he has just the slimmest of opportunities to actually affect Pucci, and he just misses just barely.
Yeah, and the part with the knives, and he's like, he already threw the knives just as Dio once did.
That's such a good throwback, and also just this great moment of just despair, because you realize there's no way that they can actually get past that at this point, because it's working both Jotaro's time stop ability and Pucci and Made in Heaven's ability to speed up time in conjunction with one another. Pucci effectively used Jotaro's stand against him, which is just it's something that I don't think any of the other stand battles actually had the main villain do that, where they're using the hero's stand against them. So
and it's just amazing. It just shows the overwhelming might of Made in Heaven, that like all this all this comboing of stands still can't measure up to it, and Pucci ultimately kills them all.
Yeah. The only one who survives is Emporio.
Yeah, through Jolene's last stand. And that shot of Jolene's sacrifice, and Emporio gets carried away on the dolphin as the sky is just going from day to night to day to night to day to night.
God.
It feels like he's not only being carried across the sea, but also all of time.
All of time and space. Just like, you are our only hope.
Yeah.
And, oh god. That last moment with Jolene is such a fucking, like, heartbreaker. God.
Yeah.
It really is the moment where you realize there's no hope here.
Yeah, like, and Pucci effectively succeeds. He kills everyone, and he has ended the Joestars. He has erased them from the new reality. And the moment where Emporio looks in the new reality, and he sees people who are obviously not Jotaro and Jolene in their outfits having the same argument for whatever reason, is also a very like cosmological horror thing, where it's like, it's a new reality, everything's the same, but it's not.
Everything is the same, but everything's different at the same time.
Yeah. You look in, and it's like, it looks like them, but it's not them.
Yeah.
And what I really love about the scenario is that like it emphasizes the greater themes, because Pucci is not defeated by a Joestar. Pucci effectively, he ends the Joestars, but it was never really about them. And what I mean by that is that like the subtle theme that's been building since part 5 and into this part as well is that fate subtly favors the righteous. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if you're a Joestar or not. It only matters, that you're on the side of justice and righteousness. Yeah, that fate will subtly favor you. And what I love about it is the fact that Pucci was so obsessed with knowing the future and knowing fate, but he could not accept his own. And he even says that it was like, I am fated to lose you at Cape. I'm fated to not catch you at Cape Canaveral, so I stopped time here in the prison so I could kill you. And keep in mind, there is no reason he has to kill Emporio at this point. Emporio is no threat to him. His stand is basically useless.
Yeah, he just wants to tie up all the loose ends.
He has accomplished everything he needed to. At this point, he is just trying to kill a child out of pure paranoia and malice.
Yep.
And so on the road to trying to avoid his fate, he has sealed it.
Yep.
Which is a common thing, but it really plays into the themes well here because he despite his supposed well intentions, he is decidedly not acting on the side of righteousness here. He wasn't when he killed Emporio's mother, and he wasn't when he's trying to kill Emporio here, and that's what seals his fate. Is because, you know. And someone wrote here, quote, I really like this comment. I love Pucci's fanaticism, and he's characterized so well in this batch. He is constantly espousing goodness and righteousness in the abstract, but whenever he interacts with one of the people he's supposedly saving, he snaps at them without fail. He just doesn't see other people as important, aside from maybe Dio. Ever since Perla died and he broke confidentiality of Weather's mother, he begs Emporio to see his way of thinking just after trying to murder him, and when he can't convince him, he goes right back to insulting him. Pucci's situation isn't all his fault. He never swapped the babies, he didn't ask for Dio to meet him, he didn't ask for Weather and Perla to meet, and he didn't intend for either of them to die, but you can tell in his final moments that he did not give a damn about Weather, his family, or maybe even Dio. He was prepared to make the sacrifice play for his ideals, but he was never prepared for the universe to tell him no.
Yep. He just assumed that because he had this power, he controlled fate itself. Fate itself was his to command. But fate favors the righteous, and that's been even from part 1, way back in 1987, that is a consistent theme in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure all throughout the entire franchise. And it really does come to a head here, where his fanaticism and his selfishness, his desires, come back to bite him so beautifully in the ass that he is undone by a mere child.
Yeah, and he is not defeated by the Joestars. He is defeated by the child of a woman he murdered and by the stand of his brother who he screwed over.
Yep. Which is just such beautiful karma.
And I really love the use of what I don't like the setup for it, but I love the use of Weather Report here from Emporio, because even as it really goes to show just how great of a system stands are, that even something as monumentally and cosmologically dominant as Made in Heaven has a weakness and can be exploited, because that's essentially what he uses Weather Report to do, is basically hard counter Made in Heaven.
Yep.
Because by getting him in a sealed room, the ghost room, and filling it with pure oxygen, and then basically Made in Heaven works against Pucci because he is just speeding up his own poisoning.
He is. Yep.
And that's why Emporio is just sitting there with bloodshot eyes, because he's only been. I actually did some research on this because I was curious. With pure oxygen. Breathing pure oxygen, the worst to most irreversible effects usually happen between 4 to 10 hours after breathing it. So Emporio's just sitting there with bloody eyes because of the differences in atmospheric pressure, but Pucci sped up his own poisoning without realizing it. So he's probably already gone through like a whole day's worth of pure oxygen in a second because he was accelerating time. So like even a stand as powerful as Made in Heaven can be countered in such a way, which just goes to show how amazing of a system it is.
Yeah, like it's just so good that like the fucking weather itself is what ultimately undid him.
Yeah.
The laws of nature itself were his undoing.
Yeah, and despite the godlike power, he's ultimately still a man, and if you get him in a room and fill it with pure oxygen, he will become crippled through poisoning, and you can smash his head against the floor.
Yep, which is just so beautiful.
Yeah. It's a great moment, and I love that, and I love everything about it's a rocky road to get there in Stone Ocean.
It is. It is.
It has a lot of writing problems, and it has a lot of ideas that weren't really executed very well, but it does definitely come together into a really good ending, where Pucci is effectively retconned out of existence.
Yep.
And the universe resets to one without him, which I love how it's illustrated both in the manga and here. It's hard to remember, but one of his first scenes involves him squishing an ant on the windowsill.
Yeah.
And then the transition into the new universe where he's retconned out of existence is an ant falling from the sky onto the ground. And so it's just a subtle visual shorthand that this is a universe without Poochie.
Yep.
Because the ant he squashed on the windowsill gets to live.
Yep. It like right from the beginning, it says Poochie isn't here, and his ability to warp, time and causality to his whim is no longer a threat. It's no longer a problem.
Yeah.
And I love, the way that also results in we get to see reincarnations of the main cast of Part 6.
Yeah.
That are just a little different, but clearly still have the same spirit and soul of the original people.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically, Part 6 itself is sort of retconned away, and it's a world without Poochie's influence. Which it's an ending that leaves it up to your interpretation in a lot of ways as to what the ramifications of that are beyond what's immediately shown to you, but like it immediately shows to you all that you need to know.
Yeah, because like there are various elements of it, like Jolene being named Irene now implies that she's no longer, a JoJo. Maybe that also means that
bound to the Joestar curse. The Joestar curse is no more.
Yeah, so like maybe this also maybe it also still did away with the Joestar bloodline. We don't know.
I mean, she did still have the star, so
she
like
did. This is true. She still did have the birthmark. So
yeah, it's just ramifications. Like you start thinking, well, if Poochie wasn't around, does that mean Emporio's mom is still alive, or did she just die in some other way? You start thinking along those lines.
Yeah, and it also makes you wonder, like, how does this affect, the whole thing with like Jonathan and like even going back from like the beginning, how does this affect,
my assumption has always my assumption has always been that it's just Poochie that got retconned. So basically everything up to Part 6 is basically the same as it was.
Right.
More or less.
Okay.
That's always been my interpretation of it.
Which I think is a fair interpretation.
Yeah, but yeah, and then obviously characters like Foo Fighters can't exist in this new reality because she was given intelligence by Poochie, so that's one.
By Poochie, Whitesnake specifically.
Yeah, so that's one little sacrifice there.
Yeah, which it's sad, but at the same time, new universe. God.
Yeah. I'm glad they at least added her to the ending sky shot in the anime because she wasn't there in the manga.
I do like that. Oh, she wasn't? Oh, fuck.
No.
That's better.
Yeah, they added a few more posthumous references to when she dies in the manga, she's almost forgotten entirely. But they added a few more posthumous references to her in the anime and added her to that ending shot. So that was nice.
I like that.
That was nice.
Because I actually really like Foo Fighters. FF is a great character. I love her. It's just very sad that she just kind of died when her usefulness in the plot kind of ran out.
Sure. But yeah, the ending is really good. The use of Distant Dreamer and then one last roundabout is very beautiful.
The fucking ending with roundabout, like, and then the entire ending sequence just being fucking recaps of parts 1 through 6 is just, it's fucking beautiful. It honest to God is. Like,
yeah,
this is the perfect way of bidding farewell to the original JoJo timeline. Yeah. Because this is the end of an era for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because Steel Ball Run is a completely new timeline.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of people wanted What a Wonderful World because that's what the final chapter is called, but I honestly think Roundabout is a bit more authentic to what JoJo is. I'm not saying it would have been bad for them to use What a Wonderful World, but I kind of just think Roundabout was the better choice.
I think Roundabout works better because it just wraps everything up both in terms of like a sonic footprint, because Roundabout is just so synonymous with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at this point, and it just kind of like ties it all together of being part of the same storyline. Well, like,
also it's just a classic fucking anime thing to like play the first
is.
opening or the most, at the end of the, we talked about that. Shauna did it. They played Hisoko no Shora at the end, and it's like,
yeah.
Or in the climax, but whatever.
It's also worth noting that the final core of Part 6 also was released in tandem with the 10th anniversary of the anime. So it's also a celebration of this anime having gone on for a whole decade, adapting the entirety of the manga up to this point of the original timeline. So like it feels like a suitable ending because we've gotten that far.
We've come a long way from the days where you say JoJo and people are like, oh, the old Capcom game.
Oh, yeah, no. Everybody knows what the fuck JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is, even if you're not in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how far, just 11 years ago, it seemed like a pipe dream,
Yeah, like when parts 1 and 2 got adapted into an anime, there was like trepidation as to whether or not they would actually adapt part 3. And then when part 3 was adapted, it's like, well, that's the most popular part aside from part 5, but no one likes part 4 in Japan, so who knows how that's going to go. But they kept going because it was popular. People liked it. And it just, JoJo's cultural footprint has just massively increased worldwide because of this anime. This anime has honestly opened up the franchise to just such a wide audience of people, and I think it's just a beautiful thing to bring it all together with, the song everyone associates with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Roundabout.
Yeah, it's in the TikTok memes, so I mean they had to.
They kind of had. It's just such a perfect way to end it.
I guess by that logic, they could have also played Giorno's theme, but it would have been a little out of place.
It would have been a little out of place, no. But no, yeah, it's a great way to tie the entire thing together. Like, just using Roundabout one last time is just... If they don't make another season of JoJo, then this is the perfect ending.
Yeah.
It's kind of up in the air whether or not they will actually do Steel Ball Run, so...
Because we've talked about this so many times.
We have.
Like, it's an ambitious thing. I think it'll probably happen at some point. I think it's going to be a while though, because they've got a lot of projects lined up.
They do.
And also, it's just, you gotta let it settle a little bit. You gotta let it settle.
Yeah,
they've been doing this for 10 years. Give them a break.
Exactly. Let people have this moment of catharsis that we finally got through the original JoJo timeline. That this story is finally adapted fully into animated format, and it's a complete story.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's the big thing. JoJo in the anime is now a complete narrative.
Yeah.
And you can just say, watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Just keep going until the end. That's the whole story, like, in the original timeline. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah,
a good feeling to have.
It's a great feeling to have, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, like, because in a sense, it is a complete thing, and it's nice. It's so rare for anime to just be complete. Even these days. So, like, it's just a good feeling.
Yeah, that's why there was just so much like concern for so many years whether or not we would even get to part 6, let alone parts 3 to 5. So the fact this anime was actually able to adapt all of the original timeline of JoJo is just... It is rare. It is exceedingly rare for something like this to happen, especially over such a long period of time, because this was a commitment.
Yeah, it was an uphill battle to get an adaptation this long, this thorough, and this honest and respectful to its source and reverent of its source material, and I'm glad it's here. Especially
this late in the game, because when the anime started, Steel Ball Run was running.
Yeah.
So
no, it actually ended. It just ended.
Oh, was it like in between that and JoJolion?
Well, JoJolion started in 2011, and then the anime was in 2012. So
okay, so JoJolion was already starting. So, like, we were.
Yeah, honestly, it almost feels like they were. I don't know if this is true, but it almost feels like they were just like, well, we're gonna adapt the first 2 parts. Let's get JoJo out there since we're starting a new part anyway. Yeah. And now it's turned into all this.
Yeah, I did not foresee JoJo's Bizarre Adventure becoming as big as a worldwide cultural staple as it's become. Because, like, I got into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure through the Part 3 manga right before the anime aired.
Yeah.
And, I thought the Part 3 manga was great. I only really read up to, like, right before they went to Egypt, so everything after that was, like, totally new to me.
Sure.
But, when the anime started, I was like... I was having a good time. I thought it was a great story. I really enjoyed the characters. I loved the visual design and just, like, the visual footprint of the anime. The anime has such a great reverence for the material that it manages to represent Araki's artistic sensibilities without just being a one-to-one copy of the panels of the manga.
Yeah, it adds a lot.
It really does. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a phenomenal anime adaptation overall, I would say.
So yeah, I'm really happy about it. I can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to get more at some point. But
absolutely, yeah,
it is what it is.
Yep, and God,
so
we're even getting the manga in English now, which is something no one ever thought would happen. But here we are. We're already getting the Part 5 manga, and the Part 6 manga is probably going to be, pretty quick to follow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like all things JoJo. So that's just our thoughts or updates. Now that that's all out. Now we're gonna do the third segment, and there's some doozies in there. There's some stories.
Ooh boy!
So stay tuned for that. We'll see you there. Wow, that was a great Stone Ocean discussion we just had, Kevin.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, we made so many good points. Observations. We discussed so much.
So emotional and raw.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'll never get over how someone busted down your door mid-recording and just shot you in the face during our Stone Ocean discussion. That was a crazy thing that actually happened.
That totally happened. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. We were all there. Except you weren't there. But you're better now.
Yes. I'm fine. I recovered.
Yeah. From the very real segment that we totally just did. Anyway, it's time for the Reddit dive.
Oh yeah, baby. Words and shit.
Back again. It is back for the win. All right, I'm gonna scroll down and see what we can get on the Reddit dive.
Okay.
I will start with a medium Tifu.
Always good to start. People.
Today I fucked up by getting a sex toy stuck inside me and panicking.
Oh God.
Yep, the title is right. Right up in there.
Yep, getting all up in your business.
So, I am bisexual, but I'm in a relationship with a cis woman. We don't do pegging or whatever, so I don't often get the chance to explore my sexual side involving that area of myself.
Oh God.
Anyway, she's out for lunch with friends, and I decided it's time to get a little freaky in my personal time. I recently had ordered a set of anal plugs from Amazon, all different sizes and made of silicone. Now, I'm sensible, and made sure they all had flared bases. And I decided to start with the second smallest of the four, because I didn't want to overexert myself. I'm sensible like that.
God.
They're very sensible. Hold on, does somebody text me? No. Okay. Sensible me grabbed some lube, grabbed the toy, and sparing you the details, I slowly started to insert the plug into my anus. It's a good time to remind you here that this toy is made from silicone rubber, which is a flexible metal. The base, being flexible, is able to fold slightly. It can bend to be smaller. This is when I made a glorious mistake. I could feel it was nearly ready to go in, so I added just a little more lube, one final push, and, well, to put too fine a point on it, my asshole swallowed this thing wide. I freeze! Oh no. I get up and rush to the toilet. I push. Nothing. This is where the story can get a little vulgar. I don't want to break any rules.
Oh, now it gets vulgar.
But when I tell you I had to reach in there and root around for it, I am not exaggerating. Over the next half hour, I sit on my toilet doing everything I can to get this thing out of my body. Believe me when I tell you this was not a clean or pleasant procedure. Eventually, it's nearly out, and with one final push, it falls into the nest of dirty tissue and toilet water beneath me, like a newborn egg rolling into the nest of a mother hen.
Oh my god, why?
I was not a proud mother. So yes, here I am about 10 minutes later, laughing at the situation, and incredibly fucking glad I didn't end up with two nurses at the ER poking around my butt with forceps trying to get it out of me. I don't know how I would have explained that to my girlfriend, but at least for now, this secret stays safe with me. And you lot, obviously. Top comment, you should leave this on as a review on Amazon.
Yes! I was thinking the exact same thing!
Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
What did they classify that one? Medium?
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a small Tifu, honestly. Like, if you had to go to the
yeah,
doctor, that would have been a medium Tifu.
Oh yeah, you go through that, Kevin. Let's
Kevin
see
doesn't
you.
think mishaps with sex toys is anything but a small fuck up.
I mean, he got it out.
Kevin, I want you to shove some anal beads in your ass and tell me it's a small Tifu.
Okay, all right.
Remember.
I won't,
pull them like
but-
you're starting. Pull them like you're starting a lawnmower.
Yeah, swallow that thing whole.
Christ, no. God.
Anyway, let's see here. Kevin,
Yes. Zeke.
this one.
Absolutely.
Read it and weep.
Small Tifu. Today I fucked up by assuming that lobsters are cheap and I was getting a steal. This happened about 3 years ago when me and my parents went to this fancy seafood restaurant in Thailand. Alright, so we sit down and we're browsing through the menu and I spot a lobster dish which only costs about 5.5. It's 5.50. Please
No,
type
it's
right.
5.5. It's clearly what he wrote.
Okay, 5.5, and I was like, holy shit, this is so worth it. This is so worth it, so I order it. The dish comes in, and since it was so cheap, I just ate it all without bothering to share with my parents. Fucking selfish pig. After I finished, I was thinking, damn, I want more, and it's only $5, so I ordered another dish. I was thinking to myself, why aren't more people ordering this? It's so cheap. Well, lo and behold, my dad receives the bill, and he is horrified and visibly paler. He passed the bill to my mom, and she gasps. He said, Mum, British alert.
I fucking tosser.
The bill was around $130, and $100 were those two lobsters, while my dad and Mum ate about $30 worth of food combined. I was like, what? That's not right! Because the lobsters are $5 each, so we look at the menu, and my dad is in pure disappointment and says, it's $5 per 100 grams. And the lobsters I ate were definitely not only 100 grams. Looking back at it, I was not the brightest teenager and should have remembered that if we are sitting in a fancy restaurant in the most prestigious mall, I don't think they would be selling a lobster for $5. Changed currency for better comprehension, but it was in THB, so $5 equals 200 THB, while $55 equals 2,000 THB.
That's a fuck up.
TLDR, I thought lobster was only $5, but it was actually $55.
I think I felt like you should have known better because there's no restaurant that sells lobster for $5.
Yeah, no, that's just... You're just an idiot at that point. It's like, that's common fucking sense, my guy.
Unless you go to like fucking like London Silvers and get their lobster bites, then you get like a bunch of those for $5. But
So head on over to Long John Silver.
that's only where that only amounts to like half a tail's worth of meat, and it's mostly breading, so
Yeah.
that's why they get away with that.
Yep, it's barely
I
any
guess-
lobster.
I think I've seen exactly one Long John Silver's in my life.
I've seen...
We have like 3 of them in Dayton.
Oh. You have everything in Dayton.
Yeah, try coming to Dayton. We have good stuff here.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's the worst city in the state. I'm like, no.
I would if they would have built those fucking vertical train lines they were talking about like 5 years ago.
Ouch.
Anyway.
To be fair, it's a very small city. You can pretty much walk it.
Yeah, walk in it, not like I can't walk to
Not
it.
to it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Saradin, can you read?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I mean,
Just staring at a turkey.
let's see. I'm trying to find one here. No, that one sucks. Fuck that one. Oh, this one. Okay. A lot of clicking. Here you go. Oh, damn it! The fucking bug. Control V. That's still there. Copy paste bug is still there.
Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to start making me breakfast every morning? Yes. I'm 27 male. I've been living with my girlfriend, 29 female, for several months now. For the most part, things are really good, and I plan to propose soon and hopefully have at least kids with her. However, we've run up against a conflict.
Have we
She's
now?
an absolute morning person. I hate mornings. By the time I force myself out of bed in the morning and into the shower, she's already been up for at least 30 minutes, even though she has to be at work later than I do, and is at the stove making breakfast. She likes a huge breakfast in the morning. She usually has eggs, either French toast or pancakes, hash browns, or breakfast potatoes. Holy shit. Can I come live with her too? And sausage or bacon. And sausage or bacon. Sometimes on weekends, it's a ham or steak. She eats almost nothing for lunch and usually has a smallish dinner, but she loves a huge breakfast. Meanwhile, I only ever have cold cereal for breakfast, or maybe if I'm feeling really ambitious, some instant oatmeal or orange juice. I only even start to come alive halfway through my second cup of coffee, and definitely don't feel like cooking in the morning.
Oh, you're one of those.
However, my
coffee
girlfriend
drinkers.
obviously does. So recently I asked her if she'd start making me breakfast for me too. She asked if I were going to trade off, and I said I'd sometimes make breakfast too. I told her no, but reminded her that I do often make dinner for her. She said that since we trade off making dinner, we should trade off making breakfast too. I told her that there's no way I'll ever be able to muster that kind of energy first thing in the morning. But that since she obviously, I'm already going to say you're the asshole. But since she obviously can, she should just make me breakfast too. I said that it would take no extra effort on her part to throw in a couple more eggs, strips of bacon, an extra portion of hash browns, etc., since she's already doing it for herself anyway. But it started a fight with her saying it wasn't fair for me to expect her to think of me in the morning since I don't do the same for her. She seems to think that her making breakfast for me should figure into our division of labor, that I should do something in return, but I think that since she makes a huge breakfast for herself every morning, anyway, that throwing an extra portion of whatever she's making on for me would be next to no effort on her part, so why should I have to do more for her? So here's why you're an asshole. So why should I have to do more for her in return? Okay, so I get where you're coming from, but two things. One, if you really love your girlfriend and you're going to propose to her and have kids with her, you should want to get up in the morning and make breakfast.
Yeah.
If that spark has disappeared, maybe she's not the right girl for you. Like, if I had a girlfriend and we were a couple years in fact, I had a girlfriend and I was still making breakfast for her occasionally. So, she's not asking for you to make it every morning. She's asking for you to trade off occasional breakfast. So
you can't even talk to him until he's had his second cup of coffee.
Yeah, and I hate people like that. I'm sorry, I do. I hate that shit.
We call them super Kevins.
It's drug addict behavior, and it's unregulated drug addict behavior. And I don't have any tolerance. So, but no, my feelings aside, you're the asshole because all she's asking is for you to get up once in a while and make breakfast for her, which is something you should already want to do. And you expecting her to do extra work without anything in return is just bad form in general for anyone. Let's see what the top comment is. Top comment is by Washington Post. The news is meant to be shared. Get a bonus description to share with your. Just
Last time I'm not
now locked
newspaper
rule violations.
What?
All right. You're the asshole, LMFAO. So we'll taking turns making breakfast for each other? Oh, no, you'll just make food for me with no extra effort for you anyways. The cheek on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You should want, if you're in love with this girl, you should want to make breakfast. You should be excited. The excitement of being able to say, hey, it's my turn to make breakfast. I'm going to get up and make eggs.
Yeah.
Like, that should get you, that should motivate you out of bed.
I mean, if he's not a morning guy, he's not a morning guy, but it's just the entitlement on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're already doing it. Yeah, because you didn't want it beforehand. God.
Also, here's an idea. Why don't you get up in the morning when you normally do and practice making breakfast in the morning?
Yeah.
That way it becomes part of your routine. Instead of just having a bowl of cold cereal, why don't and cup of coffee? Why don't you get up and
I'm not trying to convert this guy out of his not being a morning person-ishness. I'm just saying he has unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
So yeah, throwing that under the
I'm trying to convert him because I fucking hate people who can't get up in the morning.
Oh shit.
What?
Zeke, we may have a problem here.
What?
He hates people who don't like getting up in the morning.
Oh, I thought I thought you were gonna go into. Oh, I wasn't recording the whole time.
No, I've been recording. God damn it!
You can't just say in the middle of the podcast we have a problem.
Party foul, stream foul,
yeah,
podcast foul.
I'm gonna start thinking it's a podcast problem.
No. I would have a much darker voice if that happened. God.
Oh,
I was gonna say you didn't sound appropriately horrified. So
yeah, no. The recording's going. It says I can stop recording anytime, and the recording thing is ticking up. We're good.
Right. Well, I sleep in the mornings because I have an evening shift. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's second shift life. Am I the asshole for not adding a third bathroom to our house?
Okay.
My husband, our daughters, 18, 16, 16, and 12. Ooh, twinsies. And I live in a 4-bed, 2-bath house. All the girls share a bathroom, and they've been complaining about it for a while. We've been saying we'll convert the laundry room into a bathroom for the twins for a while. It's an expensive project, so we've never gotten to it. My husband and I started working on a garage recently and turned it into a gym for him, a new laundry room, and an office for me. Then we came into some money and decided to renovate both bathrooms, remodel the kitchen, and do work on the backyard. The girls are pissed when we told them about the work we were doing on the house. They were saying it's not fair my husband gets a gym when the twins have to share a room, and we chose to work on the backyard instead of adding a third bathroom. They've been calling us selfish and even got our parents and siblings to give us a hard time for not giving the girls another bathroom or giving the twins their own rooms. They don't understand that now that the laundry room is done, we have the space for the bathroom. The bathroom is next on our list. I wanted to get some outside opinions on this since our kids and our families have been giving us a hard time.
So you said you couldn't do the thing that you promised because you didn't have enough money, and when you got enough money, you didn't do the thing that you promised. Am I clear here?
Yeah.
You're the asshole.
Yeah, they got into money and think, you know what? I want a gym. I want a gym in a new office.
Yeah, because clearly that was the top priority. No, fuck that. No, you're the asshole.
Yeah. Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but 4 teenage girls using the same bathroom is a recipe for disaster.
That is a horrible thing to think
Remember
about.
that Family Guy skit where like Peter wakes up from a simulation that Stewie had started?
Yeah.
And then they go over to the women's room, and Brian's like, Jesus Christ, how long have they been there? It's like, they woke up 2 minutes ago. And they're already trying to kill each other.
Yep.
Like, yep. That's... Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I would say anyway, top comment, YTA, does going without a home gym diminish quality of life? No. Does forcing 4 humans to share one source of plumbing diminish quality of life? Yes. YTA for springing for luxuries instead of choosing to make life easier for your kids.
Yep. That's another thing. Like this, like the bathroom literally would have made everyone's life easier, but you decided to just do things because, oh, I felt like having a gym and a personal office and all this other bullshit. Like, fucking, your priorities are so fucking goddamn skewed. I have no idea. Like, oh god.
I like the part where when they're converting this garage, They say they're going to convert the laundry room into a bathroom. They built a second laundry room before converting the one they had to a bathroom.
Exactly.
So now they just have 2 laundry rooms until they run into money again.
There you go. Like, you've literally just postponed the problem instead of
Yeah.
fucking fixing it when you had the opportunity. This is so dumb.
The bathroom situation is a disaster, but that laundry is getting done.
The silver lining, I guess.
Yeah. That's me looking on the bright side. YTA.
Yeah, YTA.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, this one involves coffee. Got to send it to Kevin.
Oh, it's my kind of post. I don't know if it's a Tifu or if it's an Aita. It's a Tifu. Okay. Medium Tifu. Oh god, this has so many fucking words. Today,
It's a spicy meatball.
Today I fucked up by purchasing an expensive coffee machine and making a terrible discovery. I drink a lot of coffee. My morning consists of 2 300-milliliter mugs of coffee. Holy shit, man. And I sometimes have a third after dinner late in the day. Recently I got...
Addict.
Oh my... Yeah, that's an addict right there. That's what an addict looks like. Recently, I got too far into James Hoffman's videos and decided to upgrade my shitty drip coffee machine for a proper precision brewer. And when I say precision, I mean that this thing comes with a water testing strip so you can calibrate the machine for the mineral content in your water supply. Serious nerd shit.
This is the coffee equivalent of cutting a line.
To justify the ludicrous amount of money I spent on what appears to be the Hadron Collider of coffee machines, I decided I did some research.
Hadron, by the way. Hadron.
Yeah.
Hadron.
I did some research on brewing ratios in order to maximize the alleged life-changing potential of this equipment.
Now, let's not overlook the fact they spelled maximize with an S. That's some British hint there. That might there might be some British going on.
To be fair, they're measuring their fucking cups of coffee in milliliters as well. This is extremely British.
It's true. Yeah.
Now, Coffee Science says that the ideal water-to-beans ratio for this brew method is about 60 grams of coffee per litra of water. Yeah, British alert.
Yeah, this is definitely British.
Out of interest, I decided to prepare my usual ratio from the old machine and see how close I was. It turns out, since I got the old machine just over a year ago, I've been brewing about 20 grams per liter, resulting in what I now realize is a pathetically weak brew.
I can't get off on this.
I prepared a proper 60 grams per liter brew with the new machine, and the resulting coffee was on another planet.
Whoa.
The flavors were so developed, it was like I could taste the touch of the Colombian farmer who picked the beans.
Oh, Horatio.
I drank my full morning dose of 2 300-milliliter mugs in just over an hour.
600 milliliters of Horatio.
And then I discovered an unexpected side effect. The years of drinking weak-ass brew has conditioned my body for weak coffee. And I had just drunk over half a liter of coffee that was theoretically 3 times as strong as usual. It has now been an hour since I finished that first pot, and I can hear the passage of time. A fly flew past me in slow motion. I made an omelet for lunch, and I beat the egg so fast it turned into steam. My heart no longer beats, it vibrates. And there's something unholy brewing in my lower intestine, and I am fearing the wrath of God from when it's released. Send help.
Don't ever let this person try Death Wish coffee.
God, no. They would die. They would actually die. TLDR, my new coffee machine gave me the knowledge that I've been conditioning my body to piss-weak brew coffee for a year, and 2 cups of the real strong stuff maybe transcend the space-time continuum. They added an edit. Here's the machine I bought, and for those who have asked, although it appears to be sold out at the moment, did I get the last one? And here is the James Hoffman review that convinced me to ruin my life in this particular way. Edit 2. To everyone accusing me of being some kind of viral ad, it's true, Sage paid me and in fact specifically requested I include the details of me plastering the inside of my toilet bowl following the intestinal catastrophe their product gave me. Aggressive shitting is exactly the kind of PR exposure they want for their brand. Top comment just says, "Did you see the time knife?" God,
I don't know what that is, and I don't want to get into it.
I have no idea. I think I saw this episode of Futurama before.
All right, Sarah, I'm gonna send you one.
That is one of my favorite episodes.
Am I
of
the
Futurama.
asshole? I don't want to split the rebate I received from being on the board of directors of my homeowners association with my wife.
Here we
Just
go.
listed as asshole. So,
Here's some white problems.
wife and I own a home in a homeowners association. We split the mortgage and the HOA fee 50-50. Recently, a vacancy opened up at the board of directors, and I applied for it. I was chosen to serve. As compensation, the HOA fee, $400, is waived for our unit. My wife wants to split this windfall 50-50. I feel since I'm on the board and do all the work, the $400 should be all mine. She thinks if I keep the $400, it's tantamount to her paying me $200 since our overall housing costs have dropped $400, but she doesn't benefit financially. This has caused some of our worst fighting, and I am leaning towards just giving it and splitting the money, even though I do all the work. Am I the asshole? First of all, you're on a homeowners association. Saying you do all the work is really stretching it.
Well,
Second, yeah, I do work. Yes,
telling
you
other people
come
what
work.
color they could paint their house.
Yeah, so no, you don't do a ton of work.
Oh, honey, I had a long day measuring other people's lawns.
Also, you're in a homeowners association. You're bitching about $400. Aren't you white and privileged? Fucking split it with your wife, you asshole.
This is yeah, like for you, that's fucking chump change, buddy. God.
All right, you're the asshole. There is no homeowners association fee on your unit. Making your wife pay you $200 is just bizarre. Do you even like your wife?
That's the better question. I'm
That's a
wondering that.
Good point.
He just wants $200 for some reason.
He just wants to buy a fucking sex doll or something. I don't know.
Anyway, back to Medium Tifu Land.
Okay.
Today, I fucked up and dropped my 4-month-old into a garbage can.
Oh God.
That's how I was born too. No, like seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
the backstory.
Sheridan lore.
I was there. I was the garbage can.
Jesus Christ.
TLDR, wait, no. Not reading that first. Don't put that at the front, put that at the end. Obligatory not today, but just shy of 2 years ago when my M28 kiddo F2 was 4 months old. This story was heavily requested, and another Tifu I commented on reminded me of this ridiculous story, so I guess I got myself into this mess. Mobile, formatting apology in advance. Be me. This isn't a green text, it's a Reddit post.
Tell me you go to 4chan without telling me you go to 4chan.
Be me, he says on not a green text. Ultra tired dad of a
I don't think
four-month-old.
for the record, I don't think mobile is the issue with the formatting here. Anyway, go ahead.
Ultra tired dad of a 4-month-old who was fighting eating, sleeping erratically as 4-month-olds do, and not pooping regularly. I woke up after a decent night's sleep for once, saw that my wife, F28, was still sleeping, and attempted to sneak out of the room quietly so I didn't wake her or the baby sleeping next to her. Kiddo woke up just as I was about to leave the room, so I scooped her up quickly and took her out of the room so the equally, if not more tired wife could sleep in. Got the little one's day started with the usual morning routine, figured I'd pop on the computer and work on some stuff, and she could sit on my lap and be a goofy babble baby. Our orange tabby cat was obsessed with climbing behind the blinds to sit and look out the windows. The only problem is that they're super cheap plastic horizontal slat blinds, and every time he wanted behind the blinds, he'd break the ends off because he was jumping straight from the floor and was taking the paint of the windowsill with his claws.
Right.
That day, like always, he hopped up on the windowsill right next to me and started to try and get behind the blinds, and I gently pushed him off with one arm. He hops up again 5 seconds later, and I push him off again. For some reason, he was particularly obstinate about climbing up the window, and I was not having it. This is also the time our daughter was sitting up on her own, but not quite stable without assistance. I reached up for both hands to grab him out the window for like the 5th time as he's scrambling for all he's worth, and I must have leaned forward just the tiniest bit. I just got both hands on the cat, and my kid falls headfirst out of my lap. Thankfully, in hindsight, there was a small garbage can next to me that was filled to the brim with wrappers from lunches and snacks that she fell straight into. The kid came out with a little bump on her head, but no serious injury. A fall from a lap can was maybe 8 inches, and we took her to the doctor just to make sure. My wife still likes to lovingly remind me of the time I tried to warm up my kid for a day, but warm up my kid for a future in dumpster diving.
Just leaned a little too far forward, dealing with your asshole cat and your kid just tumbles.
From my dumpster, baby.
And I'm taking a stroll.
He's taking a stroll.
I like how one of the first adjacent thoughts he had was, man, I'm going to talk about this on Reddit.
I mean, same.
People.
I mean, you know, fair.
Same.
Yeah. Mood.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Big mood. Be me.
Am I the asshole for not comforting? Am I the asshole for not comforting my wife after my daughter told her she's not her mum? Oh, British!
British
British alert!
British alert!
Another goddamn... Also known as America OG Edition. Also known as America Light.
I have 3 children, 15, 11, and 3. What are their genders?
I must know the genders.
My 35 partner, 28. What are your genders?
It's an entire non-binary family, apparently.
Apparently. Have been together 10 years. We have 50-50 custody of the 2 eldest, so 15 and 11. Nearly 4 years ago, we had a rough patch, and a one-night stand is what led to my youngest being born. We've got full custody, but my wife is all she knows as her mother. All children call my wife their mum. She is a great parent. She's got the eldest into gymnastics and swimming. She does their homework with them, and they're really close. It's nice to see. It's hard to explain exactly how she's a good parent. She just is. I mean, sounds like she is. We found out we were expecting 8 months ago, and this caused our youngest to start acting out. Nursery teachers told us it was completely normal for young children to regress when big news happens. Yeah, that is fairly normal.
Yeah, when they found out Putin shit his pants, there was no going back.
7 months into our pregnancy, we lost the baby. It upsets me, but it completely devastated my wife. She acts like everything's normal, but she's crying herself to sleep.
They want you to act like everything is normal when it's not.
Yeah. They want you to act like you're fine, but...
It's funny how he almost did that verbatim.
Almost. I don't have the emotional bandwidth anymore. I'm exhausted. We just lost a child, not just her. I've been trying to get ready for work while my wife got the youngest ready, and I guess we were having a rough morning because I heard my youngest tell my wife, "You're not my mom, you don't love me." Obviously,
No. He said no. He said mum.
"You're not my mum, you don't love me."
You're not me mum, you don't love me.
You're not me mum, you don't love me.
There we go. That's exactly how he said it.
Obviously not exact.
Or she. I don't know. They didn't list any genders.
Obviously not exact wordings. It's not the first time she's told my... Okay, she. Girl. She's told my wife this. We don't even know how the youngest knows this.
Also, the 3. Keep that in mind. There's 3.
I went to work. When I came back, the eldest told us that my wife dropped the youngest off at nursery and then locked herself in our room and apparently had been crying for a few hours, then left. I messaged her and got told, "Thanks for helping me this morning. I'm staying at my mother's. I'm not in the mood to help with your child at the moment since you don't help me / tell me I'm her mother." God.
Tell her I'm
her mother. Okay. Youngest deserves to know her background. We've tried to explain her stepmother, etc., but she's young. She'll understand when she's older. I explained that I had work. She's handled it before, but I've been left on red. I apologized. Didn't realize she was so unhappy, but said at the end of the day, youngest lost her sibling too, and it's been a difficult transition. We're looking into family counseling. I did say I'd appreciate her not having eldest witness her being this upset next time, as she's still a child. If I've left any info out, I'll answer. Hands are greasy, it's hard to type. It was a casual morning. She usually handles getting them ready, and we had issues like this before that she's handled. Honestly, sometimes hearing things like this has become white noise now because I know my wife can handle it when I've got to work. Edit, which is just clarification. The reason I said not to be as upset in front of my eldest is because eldest went to her biological mum and told her she was worried about her mum, my wife, which I don't think is fair. Am I the asshole?
I don't think there's enough fucking details here. I'm confused.
I have no idea what to make of any of this fucking shit.
Reddit below in the comments makes some assertions. Honestly, I'm just confused.
This is just
I don't know whose kids or whose.
This is just very poorly written. And
I'm not
defined.
because they all think he's an asshole, and I don't quite see it, but it might be because I'm not seeing the full picture here. This family arrangement has not been properly communicated.
Yeah, I feel like Reddit's inferring a lot of shit that's just, like, kind of not clearly defined here. And that's where they're getting the asshole verdict. But, like, I just can't, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah,
honestly.
Not enough info. It's my verdict.
Yeah, I'm going to say info on this. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Potentially he could be the asshole, but I just don't know enough. I'm sorry.
Yep. Sararidin. Here is one. You have hiccups? Drink something, you fuck.
Yeah, I got water right here.
I am running low on energy, guys. So you guys might want to move to the lightning round.
Sure.
Okay.
Within the next couple of them.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Short one again. Am I the asshole for banning alcohol from Christmas? Fuck you!
Instantly, you're the asshole, buddy.
My husband's family likes to drink. Every holiday includes multiple bottles of wine cocktails. I hate drinking, and I have never drank. My father was an alcoholic. They don't use periods.
I like how there's no comma there. I never drank my father.
I never drank. My father was an alcoholic. I think it's childish if you can't have fun without drinking. This year, I'm hosting Christmas for a change. I decided, since it's at my house, no alcohol allowed. I'm just putting them wherever. I'm just putting periods wherever. This year, I'm hosting Christmas for a change. I decided
Freestyle.
that my house, no alcohol allowed, and we are getting older and grow up.
Don't let the man tell you where to put periods.
My husband's sister called to ask what she could bring. She saw a recipe for a Christmas martini that she wanted to bring. I told her about my no alcohol rule. She didn't say much, but must have told the rest of the family. Some of them started texting me, asking me if I was serious and saying that it was lame, but I'm not budging. Now, it turns out my husband's sister is hosting an alternative gathering that almost everyone is choosing to go to instead. It's so disrespectful, all because they would like to spend, they would have to spend one day sober. My husband told me he talked to his sister and we are invited to her gathering, and she said we should go and just stop causing issues, but I won't. It's so rude. Now my husband is mad because I'm making him stay home and spend Christmas with me, but it was my turn to host and I chose to have no alcohol. First of all, I love the first comment, the top comment. You're the asshole and the Grinch who stole Boozmas.
Here's what I'll say. You have the right to ban alcohol from your event, but everyone else also has the right to think you're a lame-o.
Yeah, like, don't be surprised that, you know, the thing that people in these gatherings normally think is a fun thing to do, like, they're upset that you've taken that away and they want to go somewhere else.
I don't drink. I think drinking's dumb. But, like, you know, they're allowed to have opinions in your event, and if they think it's lame, then, you know, you're the lame one. Sorry.
Well, here's my thing also. I'm gonna kind of say that this person's a wet blanket because she never mentions that the people, like, I understand if you don't drink and alcohol makes you feel uncomfortable, but like she doesn't say anything about them being loud or disruptive or hosting wild and out of control parties with this stuff. It just sounds like people enjoy to have, like, it just sounds like people just enjoy a
they might just they've internalized it so much they might think it goes without saying.
Yeah, exactly. I think and I've run into people like this before. And it's usually caused by people who are acting drunk and disorderly, but that doesn't seem to be the case here, at least from the information they gave us.
Sure.
It just seems like they like a glass of wine while talking and enjoying time with people. And it's like, some people just enjoy the taste of wine and cocktails and would rather have that than a diet soda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so you're just denying them. So yeah, like you have the right to ban alcohol, but just realize you're denying something that they look forward to every year. I mean, what are you going to do next? Say, presents are dumb. It's time to grow up.
Yeah.
No more presents at Christmas. We're all adults. Adults don't get presents. They don't get gifts.
Yeah, it's just sending a letter to everyone being like, "Hey, fun lovers, guess what? No fun at this party," and everyone's like, "Oh, well, that sucks."
Even if I don't drink at a party, I will still usually bring some alcohol because I know other people will will usually enjoy it. And it's not that I'm afraid they're going to disappear if I don't have it. But it's like, I like to have it just because I know some people enjoy it, and I'm hosting a party. I want people to have fun.
I'm going no assholes here.
I'm going no assholes here, but just be OP. Just be aware that if you take people's fun away, they don't have to come to your party.
Yeah, don't be entitled just because you're the person who they chose to do the party.
No, nobody's obligated to show up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the lightning round.
Yeah.
This is where we
Let's
go
fast.
to our,
Time to go fast. Time to go fast.
This is where we go to unpopular opinions. Find unpopular opinions. Do we agree? Do we disagree? Are they unpopular or popular? Let's find out now. I don't think the definitions of words should change just because people are commonly using the words wrong. I'm sorry, buddy. That's how language works. I'm so sorry. You had to find out this way.
I literally have a hang up with this in terms of people using the word filler to mean anything that doesn't progress plot.
Unpopular opinion: radio versions of songs should not have police or fire truck siren sounds. Yeah, and they should also stop telling me to clap.
Yes, absolutely.
There was a period in the early 2010s where I felt like every fucking song was trying to cause traffic accidents.
Everybody clap your hands. No.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion: negative self-talk is not your inner voice; it's everyone else's. Oh, that's deep, man.
I'm 13 and this is deep.
I was saying,
this is so
sounds like
deep.
something a 13-year-old
This
wrote.
is the Mariana's Trench of opinions.
I mean, kind of. It's definitely reinforced by outside voices, but negative internal voices is just a part of self-criticism. Some people's are worse than others, but it's a natural mechanism in your own brain.
If there was one person on the...
behavior.
Let me put it this way. If there was one person on the planet, they would still be capable of having negative feelings about themselves with nobody else's intervention.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes from within. Anyway. No, that's long and not fun.
It's the lightning round. It's gotta be fast like lightning.
Unpopular opinion: dating apps are now worse than 10 years ago. Every app is worse than 10 years ago.
Every app.
Yes.
Every single fucking app.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gone from trying to slam home runs to just playing t-ball. Making the ball move.
Unpopular opinion: I do not care whether the superhero movie I just watched was comic accurate. That's cool, but some people do, and some people don't.
Some people do. I feel like as time has gone on, that criticism has become less and less.
It's just too much of its own thing now.
Well, yeah, because it's become its own thing now.
Yeah.
And because it's become its own thing now. But I remember back in the day that there was massive criticism from comic book fans. But yeah, I mean, that's fine if you don't. I really don't, because I don't read American comic books. And I'm just there for a fun movie. But I totally understand if other people are that way. So
yeah, I feel like if you're just there for a fun movie, it really doesn't matter.
Nope, doesn't matter at all.
Unpopular opinion: reality shows need to go.
Depends on which ones. If you're talking about really trashy ones that only lasted for one season because they were so god awful, like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah.
Or The Bachelor. Yes, those probably need to go. Shows Okay, the vast majority of reality TV needs to go. But if you ever try to take RuPaul's Drag Race away from me, I will come to your house and kill you. Okay? That show is fucking amazing. And that's technically a reality TV show. Like the show about there are good reality TV shows. That one, there's the reality TV show about the guys who do the cosmetic makeup for movies and stuff. What is it, Face Off? Like that one was really good. There's Bar Rescue, there's Kitchen Nightmares, like you can't just say the entire genre needs to go. If you're talking about trashy, like syndicated basic cable or like standard television,
we left a lot. We left
like
we left
NBC.
20 hot
Right.
20 hot 20 somethings on an island. What's gonna happen next?
Yeah, that stuff's really fucking trashy.
that's
Also,
bad.
a lot of the stuff that shows up on some of the expanded cable networks, like Bravo or like some of the stuff that's on BET, like where it's just manufactured drama, and it gives people a really terrible impression, or teaches
What
people
they don't
awful
know is the
morals.
producers
Then
hid their
maybe
shoes.
I understand your opinion.
Sure.
Because like there are literal shows where every single person on the show is fucking garbage, but they portray them to be like the heroes of the show, and I'm like, maybe that stuff needs to go. I don't want to perpetuate that kind of culture too much upon impressionable teenagers, but you know what? Some of it can stay.
Yeah, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater here. There's good reality TV.
Yep.
Unpopular opinion: AI art is in fact art. Yeah, and my projectile vomit is technically food.
Actually, AI art is not actually art because it lacks artistic.
Yep.
I don't care if you type like that. It's like I don't care if you type words into a thing that says "give me something that's like this." It lacks specific intent, and also it very much in many cases lacks other artistic elements.
We've been through this.
Oh yeah.
But so no, it is not art. It is AI generated imagery. And here's how I like to say. Well, here's how I like to break it down. You can look at nature and say that's beautiful, but it's not art.
Sure.
So AI art can be beautiful and it can be interesting to look at, and you can get lost in it. But it's not art, because to be art, it has to be manufactured by a human, and it has to have a human artistic intent behind every single thing in it.
Sure.
So art is expressionism. There's no expression in typing words in an algorithm and hitting it. But anyway, go ahead.
Unpopular opinion: I really like the feeling when you get heartburn.
That is extremely unpopular as an opinion.
You know what? That's upvoted. That is unpopular.
That is definitely an unpopular opinion. Congratulations. It's like, oh, I love when my esophagus burns.
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
Unpopular
Get some fucking help.
Unpopular opinion: the structure of job interviews is completely backwards. Yes, and it's on purpose.
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
Hold on.
I'm not going to disagree. I want to know what you're talking about.
Let's see here. The structure of job interviews is completely backwards. Everyone says you should say all the right things, but to avoid taboo subjects like benefits and pay until after you're hired, if the description didn't already include them, you should be telling the employer why you would make an awesome addition to their team and essentially fall over yourself to make a good impression. That is ridiculous. Employers should be the one telling me why I should want to work for them. There shouldn't be any of these stupid games or trick questions. It should be straightforward, to the point. Tell me why I should want to join your team. You're going to be the place I spend my time I cannot get back. Tell me why it's worth being there, just so I can pay my rent. Groveling at the feet of employers hoping they'll hire you is stupid. If the workforce really is as lacking as the media portrays it as, employers should be the ones trying to convince us to work for their business, not the other way around.
So maybe I'm just lucky, but I've worked 3 jobs in my life, and every single one of them, it worked exactly how like they think it should. Where the business was like, hey, so here's what you'd be doing on the job. Here are benefits. Here's what you're going to get paid. Here's your time off. Here's your vacations. Yada yada. What are your And then they asked me stuff like, what is your previous job experience? So they get an idea about me. But they definitely bring that stuff up during every interview I've been to. And I've been in an interview at McDonald's, at a security company, and at a volunteer job that still paid. So it was a volunteer job that paid its workers because we had to live away from home and our other jobs for a period of time. So we had to get paid.
But you know what they're talking about, like that. What
I know I know the theory behind it. It's just that I don't know what that looks like because I've never experienced it.
Well, let me.
Like, there's plenty.
Let
There,
me
I,
tell
what
you,
I will
I
say,
have.
what I will say is there. Okay, fair. What I will say is there are jobs out there that will do that. That are desperate to get you on their team.
Yeah, sure. I will say that I spent years and years taking temp jobs, and nothing really worked out for years. So I did a lot of interviewing for years before I found my current job. And my current job was basically the only interview I've ever had that wasn't like this, where they make you grovel and sort of explain why they should allow you the gracious privilege of working for them. The current job I have now was the only interview I've ever had where it was a pretty mutual exchange of, well, this is what we need, this is what we expect. I'm like, okay, well, this is the previous experience I had in this thing that didn't work out. And they're like, oh, well, we won't do those things that drove you away from that job. And they haven't, so good. But it was like a more mutual sort of like, okay, this is what I expect, this is what we expect, meeting in the middle. That's the only interview I've ever had that's been like that. Every other one has been the typical dress up, groveling sort of, well, yes, I really aspire to sweep your floors or whatever. You know, it's really a passion of mine to add to the synergy of a place that makes rubber mats, you know. Oh man, I really, you know, in 5 years, I really picture myself, you know, fucking scraping glue off rubber mats. That's honestly, you know, just my passion. You know, very passionate about that. You know, that's what what can I bring to the table? Well, if you give me money, I will come here at designated times and rub excess glue off of mats. So, yeah, that's kind of the deal here. You know, it's always been shit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. By and large, across the board, yes, the structure is completely backwards, and they made it that way on purpose.
Yep.
It's cultural. Anyway.
And the culture is shit and bad.
Unpopular opinion: Bicentennial Man is not only the best movie Robin Williams ever made, but is one of the best movies ever. Fight me.
It's fine.
I never saw it.
It's a decent movie. I just don't think it's the best thing he's ever been in, and I also don't think it's a good movie. And he does play a really interesting role in it, but that's not necessarily comedic.
What would everyone say was the best thing he was ever in?
That's a good question.
What's the movie where he says Neon Genesis Evangelion?
1 Hour Photo.
That's it. That's the one. I never saw it. That's probably the one.
It's probably the one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say.
I'll tell you, my favorite joke he ever did was that time he tweeted, "I haven't seen a spider in my house for a week." What the fuck are they planning?
What the fuck are they planning? We missed you, Robin. Personally, I'd say that, like, objectively the best movie he's been in is probably either Aladdin or Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. Let's see here.
More unpopular opinions.
Yeah, okay. Oh, here's one. Unpopular opinion. Store security guards should actually stop thefts instead of just watching.
I do! Asshole! Go fuck yourself!
There are security guards who just don't do shit. Sheridan here is not one of them. Oh, God. Actually, you're not doing your job correctly. God.
Oh.
These fucking people.
Thank you for listening to the Bakagaijinshow.
LMAO, we're ending on that note.
Yep. If
Come
you
on,
want to be
part with us.
Yeah, we're doing that this Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, this episode will probably come out about the same fucking time we're doing that. So
Yeah.
Damn.
Synergy.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Synergy.
But you can join our Bakagaijinshow Discord server with the link provided in the description to be keep up to date with all what the fucking next movie is. So there you go. That's a plug, I guess. And you can also email us at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com, and you can find us on Twitter at ZekeFreak, at CTramander K, and at Saradin Sedranor. Thanks for listening. Zeke Freak out. Ciao, ciao for now.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone and that includes you.